Week 1 of the NFL almost in the books. It is Vikings and Bears tonight. Storylines over the weekend were insane. Started with the Eagles on Thursday. We told you on Friday that the Chargers would beat the Chiefs. And we told you that Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh were going to win the West. Now, September is a liar's month. Okay? It's a liar's month. So you got to kind of be careful on what you saw. Bucks go to Hotlanta and get a win. Kind of sloppy football game there as well. Baker Mayfield just did enough. They end up winning that game against Atlanta. Last year, Atlanta took 2. And then last night, my boy, I couldn't have been more prouder than my boy. Oh, Josh Allen, I'm so proud of you, son. Holy cow. Oh, man. That kid's just getting better and better and better and better. Holy cow. Did you see my boy last night? Josh Allen throwing to nobody's 394 yards in the air. 2 TD passes. He ran for another 30 and 2 TDs for 424 yards of total offense. And he's throwing to dudes by the name of Coleman, Shakira, Palmer, Cook, and Housey, and Knox. I mean, who are those guys? 41-40. He comes back. And, of course, Allen. Dude, that guy is a superstar. He is a superstar. That's what a quarterback looks like. That is a dual threat guy. Holy shit. Woo! You want to know what a superstar player? That's it right there. You want to know who the best quarterback in pro football is? The defending MVP is right there, baby. Wow. They come back, they win 41-40 over a very good Baltimore team. This ain't the Cowboys, who might win 7 games. That's the Baltimore Ravens he did that to, albeit at home. Man, what an absolutely sensational quarterback he is. And no picks, you forgot the best part. By the way, also, this guy don't take sacks. Like someone else not mentioned. He don't take sacks. The Colts game is more of an indictment on the Bengals for letting their defensive coordinator go without Golden. I'll tell you. How about Dimes Jones? Holy cow. Hey, get this. See this right here? Yeah. Just like Saquon Barkley dropping the ball last year against Atlanta. Catch the ball. Happens. Catch the ball, Joe. Barkley cost them the Atlanta game last year. How you doing? Nice try, douchebag. Nice try. Okay, get this. Keon Coleman was a first rounder last year. Put some respect. He couldn't start in Philly. Okay? Oh, by the way, Henry's a beast, though, man. How many highlight reels last night did he make of Buffalo Bill players? Don't ever tell me Barkley's better than that guy. The last 5 years, one guy's got 6,800 rushing yards and 70 touchdowns. The other guy's got $5,000 and 49. It ain't close. Okay? It ain't close. Let's see here. Keon may not be Jamar, but you got to put some respect on his name. The kid can play. The kid can play because the quarterback can get him the ball. That's why. How you doing? Hey, by the way, 166 yards. The best running back in Philly in week 1 was the quarterback. How you doing? Holy cow. Hit the like button. Super chats, as you see, go right to the top. What a ball player. Wow. You see Josh Allen? That's how you play the quarterback position right there. You're down 16. Man. Whew. Unbelievable. Hey, get this. Yeah. Hey, Yale. Yeah, it happens to running backs. Ask your boy Barkley. Catch the ball. You win the Atlanta game. It happens. He cost the Eagles the Atlanta game. Okay? Allen put them in that position to be down. Oh, yeah, he did? I don't see any fucking turnovers. Let me look. Any turnovers for Allen? That'd be a no. Baltimore's good, dude. They're good. King Henry. Did you see Peyton Manning return to Indy and dice up the Dolphins? Hey, the Dolphins are a horrible organization right now. Unbelievable. Hey, we'll get it. Henry, stop with the it's not close. Stop with that. Derrick Henry, in the last 5 years, almost as many rushing yards as Barkley has in his career. Don't even put that in the conversation. 70 touchdowns to 49. $7 grand in rushing. He has just as many rushing yards as Barkley has in his career in the last 5 years. It's not a conversation. I'm not going there. I'm not debating that. That guy is a horse. Seals, I don't want to overreact, but God, Petula's game plan looks elementary. Looks very much like Sirianni pre-flower speech. I mean, Kevin Petullo. You've got a guy like A.J. Brown on your team with Devontae Smith, and you have 4 targets. Yeah, that made sense. Ravens and Steelers, D sucks. How many Pro Bowlers? I would say this to you, that I wouldn't go crazy on the Steeler defense. I thought the Jets played well. I watched that game. Aaron Rodgers was spectacular. He was spectacular. We'll talk about week 1. Spectacular. I thought Justin Fields was great. They're going to win games in New York. The Jets are better. The Jets are better. They're a good team, man. They're not a great team. I'm not saying they're a 500 team or a playoff team, but they're going to get this. Darius Slay, low-key getting cooked by Garrett Wilson. You're talking from what angle? That your DBs are even worse? You played against Aaron Rodgers. Okay? And, I mean, I get it. Slay's playing against Justin Fields. Not a very good litmus test on quarterbacks. I thought Garrett Wilson and that Hall kid can play. That Hall can run the ball. But, again, your corners are so bad, you're bringing dudes in off the street today. I mean, can we find somebody to play corner? Like anybody? Like anybody. Hey, just sign up here. Pretty soon, you know what Howie's going to do? He's going to put a wanted ad in the newspaper that says, hey, anybody who could play corner can please sign up, and we'll give you a workout every Tuesday at the NovaCare Center to see if you could play corner. How you doing? Holy cow. At Josh Allen last night, man, couldn't make me more prouder. Man, hey, get this. M. Reyes and all these guys in here said that when they lost Stephon Diggs, this guy was going to be a worse player. No, that's your guy if you lose A.J. Brown. Remember, you're 12-20-1 without Brown starting with Hurts. He don't need anybody. That guy is that guy. He's that guy. Get this. There is nobody but the people in here who think that that guy in Philly's better than that guy in Buffalo. Nobody. So guess what? You'll be debating yourself. Sounds normal for guys like Cam Reyes. They'll be debating themselves. Yeah, all right. What a good mood. How you doing, man? Week 1. Oh, We got some business to do here right out of the gate. Cornerback job might look like the movie Invincible for open tryouts. Absolutely, Kyle. How about this, Kyle? So, as I predicted, these signings that you had in the offseason were a joke. How do we know this? Howie's now looking for another corner. He made a trade for a defensive end, and he was ready to give the house up for Micah Parsons. 2 1s, a 3, and a 5, and whatever to land the guy. That doesn't sound like a guy that's too happy with the current roster he has, does it? Get this. So Eagle fans today will try to convince you that you have a Super Bowl roster with a GM that is making moves weekly now because he sees what he has coming out of the Cowboy game. He threw almost the entire future of the next 2 years away to try to get Parsons. I'm not saying that it wasn't worthy because I saw what Micah did up in Green Bay at Lambeau Field against the Lions. Why can't Laurie get AJ and Jalen in line? Really sad. Well, who said those guys have to be best friends? You just have to play with each other, man. Lions are trash without Ben Johnson. Whoa, it was bad. I told you guys they would take a step back. I thought it was more just without Ben. I thought it was the O-line guys that were going to play a factor. The Pro Bowl guard and the All-Pro center not being in there, I think you saw that. Penei Sewell got destroyed in that game by Parsons. I mean, he killed him. And I thought, again, I'm not in John McMullen's room. I don't think that that's the hurdle yet. I don't. I still think it's in Los Angeles. And I think it's down south in Tampa that those are going to be because Tampa beats you. Los Angeles doesn't. So I think those two teams, now September, we got to wait. Got to get out of September before you can really see what a team looks like and who a team really is. So, yeah. So wait a minute here. Howie Roseman, the last month, that don't look like a guy who likes his roster on defense. I mean, he's making moves for corners, safeties, edge rushers, and giving the future of the Eagles away over the next 2 years. Get this. Nick says I'm lying. So 2 first-round picks in the next consecutive drafts, a 3 and a 5 and a player. This guy says I'm lying. That was Jay Glazer. He reported that on the NFL on Fox. Doesn't sound like a guy who likes his roster. Who is he going to give up? Nolan Smith? Alex Hunt? I'm assuming it was Jordan Davis. Okay? I'm assuming it was Jordan Davis. And Jerry said no because he didn't want to trade him and see him twice with the Eagles. How much of an impact would he have made? I think he would have suffered on your defense and your run game. I think the Eagles are better off where they are now. Get this. They know that they're not – I say this to you. I know now they're not paying Jordan Davis. Now, they are not paying Jordan Davis. They are not giving that guy a contract extension. They may use the tags on him. No way. They tried dealing him. No way are they paying Jordan Davis and spending $60 million on 2 D tackles. Not happening. That is not happening. Why did those 2 fall out, Big Sills, Jalen Hurts and AJ? Why do you think? It's because Hurts can't get him the ball. And the coaching staff went in the direction of being a run-first team. AJ came to Philly for targets and to catch football and win games his way. AJ wants to win games his way. Hurts wants to win games the team way. AJ's a selfish player. Not in an awful way. He wants to win. He wants to win. I'm not suggesting to you he doesn't. But he wants to win with him being the centerpiece of the team, not Barkley. And that's why those two aren't on the same page. I'm talking about off the field. I'm not talking on, well, they're not on the field either. One target. We'll see how that plays out against Kansas City. All right? We'll see how that plays out. Those guys do not like one another. It's a business relationship. So I wouldn't fret it. Who cares? As long as they play and as long as they win games. Stop worrying about if people like one another. Okay? Don't blame Howie for making moves. No, Howie realized his mistakes. And he's trying to rectify them. He made massive mistakes this offseason. John's blind. If he thinks that right corner two is not a problem, that guy blows out loud. Your safety position is not healthy. I would put Cooper in there. I would put Cooper. Okay? I would put Cooper DeJean at the safety position. And then try to figure out the other corner and hope Bennett is the guy. All right? Hey, and one more time on this Hurts and Jalen Hurts deal. I'm not suggesting to you that those guys, they can't win ball games. But I'm telling you flat out, AJ wants to win his way. Hurts wants to win the team way. Quarterbacks want to win the team way. Wide receivers want to win their way. What do you think of Danny Dimes? I thought Danny Dimes was spectacular with Shane Steichen. I thought Taylor gave him enough in the run game. The Dolphin defense is exactly who we thought they were, and offense, Tua sucks. He's regressing. It's time to get Hello Kitty coach out of there and put someone else's ass in there. It's time. And that thing's walking. Chris Greer, the GM, I have no idea how he keeps his job. It's 10 years since they've won a playoff game. Let's go, dude. Where you going? Time for the Giants to bench Wilson. I saw neighbors screaming at Dable. That's not helpful. That's not helping. Josh Uche at right DE played well, 19 snaps. Anybody who tells me that the Eagles front played well are fucking liars. They scored at will in the first half on every drive. A football team without a running back had 120 yards rushing on you. Are you crazy? The Cowboys had 4 drops that would have given them 3 TDs. Don't talk to me about guys playing well in the D-line when you're getting knocked off the football. How in the world does anybody walk away saying that guys played well when they scored at will and they didn't punt? How many punts did they have in that game? 3? How are you playing well? How are you playing well? When you're getting knocked, the Cowboys, their O-line and D-line won the night. How did they play well? Where they did not win the night. Brian Pumper reads J-Mac like a book. He bases all of his positive takes on guys who answer his questions. I know his moves. Easy work. I don't study it like that, Pump. I address when I'm wrong. Okay? Let's get this. Let's see if this guy makes any sense. Bro, you're so far out of it. You sound like an idiot. Well, anybody who starts off a sentence like that, I know I got them. They let up first 2 drives. Bro, they scored on every fucking drive in the first half, did the Cowboys. Every drive, they scored points. End of story. Holy shit, are you a dumbass? Every drive in the first half, they scored points. What are you dissecting? Get this. I said that. I'm clueless. I said it's September. Hey, Z. Bro, clueless on what? Clueless on what? Anyway. Yeah. Adoree sucks. We all know that. Yeah, well, no, that's not what you were telling me in the offseason. You guys were telling me, you guys addressed it. And you guys told me all the guys like Keely Ringo and all that were going to be sufficient and replacing all the players that you lost. That's not the case. How many points did the Cowboys score? Bro, I told you. And the Cowboys had the game in their hands to win it that they needed to make it a fourth quarter game. You're making the Cowboys sound like a playoff contender. That team will be lucky to win 7 games. Don't talk like you're beating Baltimore, because you didn't. You beat the Cowboys, who have no running back, suspect O-line, and barely any linebackers. And they lost Micah Parsons. And you're making it sound like you beat the Rams, or you beat a team that was a playoff contender. How fucking dumb is that? I said that the D-line was going to be a problem more than anyone in the chat. I saw this coming, confirmed it last Thursday. I think Carter didn't play bad. I don't think he played bad. That's not what I'm saying. Don't glaze a football team that play. I can't tell you who the running back for the Dallas Cowboys is. And they had 120 yards rushing. Okay? And see this? M. Reyes is saying they had no Carter. Well, don't be a dumbass and an imbecile. That's an imbecile move. You don't get credit for a guy acting like an asshole. I mean, M. Reyes goes, well, we didn't have Carter. Don't be an imbecile. Losing Carter, don't be an imbecile. That's on you, bro. That's on the character of your team. That's not on the Cowboys. He was an imbecile. Okay? That's not a Cowboy thing. Well, Carter wasn't out there. Well, your guy shouldn't be an asshole. Don't be a dumbass. That's on you. You want to blame the Cowboys and say, well, we didn't have Carter. Well, tell your guy not to be a fucking jackass. Might help. I mean, you're giving your team more credit because your guy had no character. Hey, Rich. Russell Wilson will have the Cowboys defense look like and make it elite. He's trash. I think it's time to put Jackson Dart in there. I mean, at least he can move around. At least that guy can move around. You said Carter didn't play bad. I meant the other guy, that Jordan Davis didn't play bad. Hey, guy, shut the hell up, stupid ass. That DT from the Chargers hit Kelsey in the helmet and didn't get tossed. Does the league have it out for Carter? Here's something to think about, though. Last night, Lamar Jackson punched a fan or pushed a fan. You know, if you're not going to suspend him for that, I don't know. You know, the fan did reach down, and first he slapped DeAndre Hopkins last night, and then they pushed Lamar, and they pushed his head, and he pushed the guy back. Now, I don't know what the league is going to do about that, but they frown on that stuff, man. So I don't know. I don't believe they're going to I don't believe they're going to suspend Lamar for that, but you can't put your hands on fans. So I don't know how that's probably going to come down just being a fine. I don't know how the spitting is going to go because Troy Vincent said that they're going to tolerate no non-sportsmanlike stuff this year. So I don't know. That's I thought was going to come down today, but Xander made a good point because of Monday night's game. It may come down tomorrow. Sills, if someone spit your way and smiled in your face, you telling me you're not going to – Brian, if somebody spit my way, I'm going to punch him in the face. I'm not going to spit on him. Or I'm going to kick him in the nuts. I'm not going to spit on him. No, I'm not. I'm going to punch him in the face like a man would and let the chips fall. If I'm getting thrown out of a game, it's because I'm throwing hands. I'm not getting in a spit contest with somebody. So you spit on me, you think I'm spitting back? No, I'm throwing hands at you. I mean, yeah. Then guess what? People are going to be more in line with you not getting suspended for that than spitting on a dude. How about the Bills trying to get rid of the tush push, and they used it last night? I saw that. That's a good pull by you. Okay, that's a good pull. I saw that same thing. I was like, isn't one of the teams, Sean McDermott, saying that that's not a football play? Well, let me get back to this. So Howie Roseman was going to give up your future for Micah Parsons. I mean, what's that tell you? How do you read that? 2 ones in consecutive years. A 3 and a 5 in a player. You tell me. That dude can't be too happy with what he's got. There's no way. I think no, I'll rephrase that. I think Howie Roseman is very happy with what he has. I think Howie Roseman is not very happy with what he added. Does that make more sense? Okay? That makes more sense, right? He's happy with what he has. He's not happy with what he added. Look at his actions. Hey, don't just go by my words. Look what your GM has done. He was going to give up a small part of your future, and he was going to give up a player who they just gave and picked up the 5th-year option on. And they were going to get the Cowboys Jordan Davis. So how happy could he be? And they be with, I think Jordan Davis right now, if Jordan Davis was put in that Jerry said it, we're not making a move unless there's a defensive run-stopping tackle. Well, you're not going after Nolan Smith. You wanted that run stopper, and they're clearly not giving Jalen Carter up. The Eagles are not giving Jalen Carter up. That's not happening. He's one of the few guys on that team that's not tradable. I mean, everybody else outside of the quarterback and the defensive tackle are untradeable. Like here, you would trade Cooper DeJean for Kyle Hamilton. You would trade Q for Patrick Surtain. Jalen Carter, who am I trading him for in the league that I would get value back? At D tackle. I don't know. Okay? Cooper DeJean is not better than Kyle Hamilton. All right? He's not. Q is not better than Patrick Surtain. He's not. He actually plays man corner and plays zone. Can do both and put in both and is the reigning all-pro. And he will be for the next 5 years. The guy Stingley in Houston is also that guy. Every other one of those guys are tradable. Lane's probably not because of his age and how great he is. Like, you're not getting anything back. Like Penei Sewell, Detroit's not doing it because of his age. Mulata had a horrible game. Mulata, that was the worst game that Jordan Mulata played in the last 3 years, was that Cowboy game. They were running right by him. They had no answers for what Dallas was throwing at him. He gave up hits on the quarterback all night long. All night long. He got killed. And I couldn't tell you. And they didn't have Parsons. I thought Hassan Reddick was spectacular. I thought he was spectacular. Had a sack, had a couple TFLs, got Penix down on the ground. I thought he was spectacular. Now, again, he still suffers in dropping and pass coverage, and I still think he's suspect at times on setting the edge. Atlanta moved the ball. You know, he is a guy, though, at 3rd and long, you wind him up, he's going to run into a quarterback. If that guy's got his strudel hooked on right, that guy's going to run into people, and he did. And he got a sack. Okay? You're all over the place. I'm answering questions, douchebag. And if you can't keep up, not a shocker. Green Bay, listen, Green Bay is good. I still have to see the quarterback play consistent football. Okay? I am 100% not. He's got to be better. Seals, do you think Campbell will be a hybrid off-ball pass rusher? You know what? I went back over the weekend and watched his play. He did play well. And I'm not down on Makuba. Those two dudes for rookies, they were okay. They were better than okay. Campbell has a shot to be a player that can do multiple things for you. I'd like to see them try to do some blitz packages from the interior and see if they can do some things inside with him, because he's a physical player. Okay? He's a physical ball player. If you watched him, his engagement with the offensive line and him getting off blocks, he's exceptional at it. He uses his hands well. You go back and watch. He's got good feet. Trotter is never going to see the field unless there's an injury if he keeps playing like that. And that's what you want. You want Trotter to be Oren Burks. That's his role on the team, is to be Oren Burks. His role, if he's starting, there's a problem, someone's injured, he's just not really a pro starting linebacker. There's a place for him, but he's okay. He's not exceptional. Campbell's exceptional. Bourne is a ball hawk. He runs to the football, and if he has good tackle playing in front of him, he's a good football player. Just like any linebacker. I don't care who the backer is. One of the reasons that Ray Lewis was so good, they had great D tackle play. They had noted, remember him? They had note up in the middle, the big nose guard. They had Tony Saragusa. When you have big nose guards like that, traditionally your linebacker play is going to be great. I'm kind of glad that they didn't get rid of Jordan Davis, because that'll affect that linebacking growth. You've got to keep those tackles. If you want good linebacker play, they've got to make sure those you know what I would do? If I was Howie, I'd get more depth in the tackle position. Because if Carter or Davis goes down, it's a nosedive in talent. They have a nosedive. Sam Adams was another guy they had in the middle, right? Remember that kid too? They had Washington in there too a little bit. Ted Washington played with the Bills, a little bit with Baltimore. They always had big dudes. Okay? See this right here? We have just, like I said, He sees the game from a notepad. I see the game from a football player standpoint and a coordinator standpoint. So whatever he says is irrelevant to me because I don't watch the game. No. What this guy should have said was, I don't watch the game like him. You're right. I don't. And nor would I ever want to. And nor would I ever want to watch the game like you. Not in a million years. Because I don't see the game like that. I don't. I count how good you play on 3 and outs. If you stop people and you get 3 and outs, that's when you know you're doing your job. Let me give you a little insight. Folks, you ready for this? The more you saw of Jordan Davis on Thursday night, the more that the Cowboys were having success. Now, he had to play more snaps because of Carter being an imbecile. But that doesn't mean because he played more, he played better. Common sense. The Cowboys had 120 yards rushing. You guys were saying it was going to be a blowout. How was it a one-possession game? Because the Cowboys played well, they owned the lines. They won on the O-line, they won on the D-line. There's no other excuse. You are making excuses for a team that was pushed around by a 5-win Cowboy team. And you're making excuses. Now, here's the beauty. It's September. It's week 1. Do you hold that against Philly? No. No. In week 3, if they're still doing the same thing, yes. Then you go back and you have an indictment on it. But right now, no. Not yet. I've been very clear with that. September is a liar's month. You have to wait 3 games before you make an assessment on what you're doing at. Okay? I have to see Washington play the Eagles or Cowboys to say they're the best in the NFC East. Who can't destroy the Giants? As Xander was telling me that Jaden Daniels, who had over 300 yards in total offense, didn't play well. Well, I don't know. Against that front, they moved the ball relatively well, and they did whatever it took, and that's a pretty good defensive front. And he was a one-man show. Okay? I mean, this guy had over – so you're telling me if a guy has over 300 yards and doesn't play well, that's his floor? That guy didn't play well and had 300 yards in offense. Okay. And won. I'll take that. Hey, get this. Jaden Daniels didn't play well, but he had 300 yards in total offense. Oh, well. And did they blow him out? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what we're talking about. A divisional game? It's funny. They play a divisional game. The Eagles get pushed around up front by the Cowboys. Everyone comes out of that feeling good. But Washington, they end up beating the Giants with a good defensive front. They played like shit. How's that? I think maybe some people are wearing their Eagle colors a little bit in that ball game. They beat them 21-6. The game was never close. Here, let me go down here and take a look at Jaden Daniels. I think Austin Eckler's going to be more of a factor for them, too, this coming season. The Giants, the Giants were held to 17 first downs. Washington had 25. Washington had 432 yards of total offense. They had 220 yards of rushing. 212 in passing. I think that's balanced. The problem with them was their stupid penalties they had. They had 12 for 90 yards in the game. That was a balanced attack. 220 in the air, 220 on the ground. I'm not sure what else you want. Seals, the Cowboys do the same to the Giants. Will you give them credit like Washington did? I didn't say Washington was exceptional. Washington did their job. beat bad teams. Still stop it. Stop what? You just be rage baiting on my birds. Rage baiting? I just got through telling you. Don't count September. You may not have played exceptional football in the first game. Hey, dude, stop fucking crying. You're a whiner. Act the part of a Bird fan, not a whiner. You're whining. Number one, Dallas was never going to be as good as the media hyped them. Absolutely true. Absolutely. They're not good. They're okay. Dak's good. Lamb is not that great. I mean, you can't have 4 drops in a game against the Eagles. You can't have one. Remember what I said? I said this about your team. The Cowboys had to play A+ football to beat you. The Eagles could play C+ football and beat you. And that's exactly what happened. Dime Jones is looking great. Is looking great away from the G-men. Yeah, that's not hard to do. They got a shitty O-line. The Colts have a good O-line. They've got one of the premier centers in the game. They've got a good offensive tackle on the right side. And they got a good running back in Jonathan Taylor. Shane Steichen knows how to coach dual threat guys who know what they're doing. Anthony Richardson's a bum. Dimes Jones is not terrible. He's not elite. He's not terrible, though. Dak treated the game like a Super Bowl. No, he didn't. He treated the game like an NFC East game. How would Dak treat the game like a Super Bowl when he's never been to a divisional game? Dak doesn't know what it's like to play in a Super Bowl, let alone a divisional game. It treated like the Super Bowl. He's never been out of the wild card round. Oh, wait, he has. And they got beat in the divisional game. They beat the Niners, and then they got beat by the Buccaneers. Oh, they beat the Bucs, and they got beat by the Niners. I mean, in the divisional game 2 years ago. Okay? How would he know? Dak's been the divisional games, just not the – yeah, he went a couple years ago to the divisional game against the 49ers and the Niners, and Purdy beat him. 22 Hurts is back. That is not true. That game he was. We'll see if he is. One game doesn't make anything back. I get asked this question about my Hurricanes. Are they back? Well, when you stop asking that question, that's when I know a guy's back to doing what he does best, or a team is back. If you have to ask that question, you know he's not. Xander says that I missed Eduardo's super chat. Bengals should have never fired Lou Amarillo. A lot of rust shakes off in week 1. Last night's game was a classic. Ravens and Bills were showing out. It was spectacular. That was a spectacular football game. That was just a great football game. How do you think the Packers defense fares against Washington? Pretty good. Hey, Green Bay's one of the 4 teams in the NFC. They're one of the 4 teams. I just don't, again, it's not their defense. It's not their run game. It's not their O-line. It's their quarterback. He is just not consistent enough. One thing you get, hey, Hurts is not a spectacular, super elite talent. But what he is by far, and I saw it again last night, he sees the game way better than Lamar Jackson does. Lamar plays too much hero ball. Lamar Jackson does way too much silly shit in a ball game. Hurts doesn't do silly shit. He just doesn't do silly shit. He reminds me of Emmett with a mentality. Emmett's not going to take minus yards. Barry Sanders is. He's not going to be that. The one thing I consistently tell Xander, he's a smarter football player than Lamar. That was on display last night. Lamar is a special player. Don't kid yourself. That's a special football player. But he can't beat Jalen Hurts. There's no way. No way. Jalen finds a way to win a game last night. Lamar finds a way to lose a game like that last night. That was my takeaway. Lamar is more talented. He is more talented than Hurts. But here's the most important thing you have to know. Jalen's not losing a game like that with the lead. Lamar is. Okay? He's losing that game. Hurts is not. That's the difference in the two players. I mean, Lamar's going to make spectacular plays all over the field. But he's going to make a couple critical plays that are going to cost his team. Jalen's not going to make any spectacular plays, but he's going to make a ton of plays that win games. I'd rather have that guy. I'm not looking for the sensational play. I'm looking for the right plays. That was my takeaway last night. Lamar's better. Hurts wins. Hurts will beat him. Lamar can't beat Jalen Hurts. If you put those two teams on the field, Jalen beats him. Jalen beats him. Even with Henry running like that. He beats him. Lamar could be in a game where he's 21 of 30 for 390. Hurts could be in a game, he's 10 of 18 for 138 yards going into the fourth quarter. Hurts is going to beat you. Okay? Don't kid yourself, kid. Jalen is nowhere in that guy's room. I'm honestly done with Lamar and Burrow missing the playoffs 2 years in a row. The top three are Mahomes, Hurts. No. Now, depending how you're defining who you think the top three players are you talking about the top three winners, or are you talking about the top three talented players? Jalen's nowhere in the room next to Justin Herbert as a talent. Talent doesn't win Super Bowls. Smarts does. Smarts do. Brady's not the most talented quarterback ever to play. Brady's the smartest quarterback ever to play. I don't think there's any coincidence to that. Peyton Manning can't jump over a stack of dimes. But he's going to win. Why? Well, get this. Do you know one of the criticisms of Peyton Manning coming out of Tennessee was? He couldn't throw the deep pass, and he had a weak arm. You know what they said about Montana? That Montana couldn't hold up to the NFL because of his body, and that Joe didn't have that strong an arm. Well, those guys all won because, you know why? They processed the information, they saw it quick, and they were winners. Those guys may not be generational talents like Lamar, but I'll tell you what they are. They're generational winners. Those guys know how to win football games. They're just that good. He's not. The Giants, well, wait a minute here. I want to show you how fucking ignorant this guy is. This guy's spit is so fucking ignorant. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think the New York Giants let Saquon Barkley down? Do you or do you not think that the New York Giants let Saquon Barkley down in New York? Yes or no? This guy's a fucking idiot here. Okay, how many times do you guys tell me that the New York Giants let Barkley down? Well, why in the world would they not have let Daniel Jones down? Oh, I see. It's just Barkley because he's an Eagle? Or maybe it's the stupid fucking Giants. I mean, right? Do you think that could be that? Wait a minute here. Is it just coincidence? The two players that they really had on the team they liked, Barkley and Jones, they let both walk. One guy's on the defending Super Bowl team, and the next guy goes in his first start and looks like the guy they drafted out of Duke. Any coincidence? Probably not, especially to an imbecile like this. Danny Dimes looks like a competent quarterback. Wow, good job, Colts. They did the same shit with Carson Wentz. Okay? The Giants ignore the O-line like the Eagles ignore the safety position. Yeah. But, Bud, the one thing that they do, the one position wins you Super Bowls. Ignoring the safety position, I could find an undrafted free agent and put his ass in there. Right? I could put that guy's ass in and put a Reed Blankenship in there. Oh, by the way, where's that contract? You guys told me they would have had it started a game. Are we waiting another one? Or are you finally coming down the lane with me here? They're going to do it in March. Boom. Man, we're off to a great start. The guy was never getting a contract. I don't get it, though. Is it Daboll the reason Josh Allen is the player he is today? Well, I don't know. Ever since Joe Brady has taken over, Josh Allen's won an MVP award, and he looks like that. Do you remember who Joe Brady coached? Does anybody in here know? Remember who Joe Brady coached in college? Does anybody know? Does anybody know who Joe Brady coached in college? That's right. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Ray. He coached Joe Burrow at LSU. Yes. I don't know. Maybe Joe Brady deserves an opportunity at being the next head coach in the NFL. Okay? What is going to be your take for you to put Hurts in the elite stat? He doesn't have to be elite. He doesn't have to be an elite talent. Tom Brady's not an elite talent. He's an elite winner. There's a difference. They're not all encompassing in one thing. Well, this guy, Lamar, you'll never be in Lamar or Justin Herbert. Hurts is never going to be in that conversation. Now, comes to winning games. Here's the winners in today's NFL. Rodgers, Hurts, Mahomes. There are fewer of those dudes than elite talent. Do you get my point? There's fewer. How in the world would anybody say that Tom Brady was an elite talent when Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round and can't jump over quarters in the slowest 40-yard dash in the history of the NFL's combines at 5'5"? What are you talking about? It's correct. Studying, not playing hero ball, figuring it out, problem solving. Hurts, Brady, Mahomes, they figure it out. There are fewer of those men in today's game than there are the elite talented players. Kyler Murray's an elite talent. He's not an elite winner because he doesn't see the game. Dude, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. You know why Josh Allen is better today? Because Joe Brady, is making him see the game better. Get this. Jalen Hurts throws a great deep ball with the fourth worst passing game in football. Great. Sounds like it's really being maximized. Wow. Guy throws a great deep pass, and yet the guys who win Super Bowls don't really throw deep passes. They throw checkdowns underneath. You see this right here? I never looked at this as being a negative. He's a game manager? Well, if you can manage wins, how's that a bad thing? What does Jalen Hurts do? You want to call it a game manager? I call it a game manager who figures it out. Sure. I don't think everybody's a game manager and figures the game out to win. I don't. I think people play like Lamar a lot. I think this is what Jim Harbaugh's doing to Justin Herbert. I think he's showing him how to win the game without having to throw the ball 50 times a game. It's what they're doing in Buffalo right now. Allen is seeing the game better, and he's not turning the fucker over, and he's not taking sacks. See, the problem, though, for me in Buffalo, I don't believe Josh Allen can win 4 of those in a row. There's not enough talent in Buffalo. You are not winning 4 in a row. Hurts can shit the bed versus the Rams, and you still win. Allen can't shit the bed. They'll lose. He can't. Hurts doesn't have to play great ball every week in the playoffs, and he didn't. He had to play when they needed it, and he was terrible in the Rams game. Okay? The Buffalo Bills aren't getting away with that. They're not getting – that's the way the team is built, though. That's the Howie. Building a team around him. Hey, man, if the quarterback's not playing great today, we could still win other ways. They're the only team in the league that can do that. Now, I think Baltimore's set up for that, but I'm starting to really lose faith in John Harbaugh. You punt the ball late when you got Allen on the other side? That's losing football. You weren't stuck. He had 250 yards in the fourth quarter alone. 250 yards alone in the fourth quarter. And you punt the ball to him? You deserve to lose. I mean, what were you thinking? You're not going to win that game at home in Orchard Park? That was a critical mistake of coaching. Okay? It's critical coaching. That's the same shit that cost them games in the playoffs against Allen and against Mahomes and probably against Burrow. And it's why Lamar's not going to win right now. I'm starting to really quit. I love the Harbaughs. I really do. But you can't play conservative football like that. The Eagles play smart freaking football. Hurts might be the smartest quarterback in the game. He's figuring it out. And him not being as skilled as those other guys, get this, you're so smart in how you see the game. The way he sees the game is superseding their abilities. And he's beating all these talented guys. To me, I want that. I don't, if you're so skilled, you guys remember, hey, Yale, who's that quarterback that was up in Chicago? What was his name? The guy that was up in Chicago for all them years. He came out of Vanderbilt. He was so good when it came to skill set. What's that guy's name? Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is one of the most talented players to play in pro football. I mean, this guy could throw every throw. But boy, I'll tell you, put him on a field and you put him in a critical situation or a 2-minute drill. Holy cow, this guy would fall through a trap door. You'd be like this. What happened? This guy will play 58 minutes of great football. And then the last 2 minutes, this guy fell through the trap door. And you're like, this guy's not a winner, man. He doesn't. Yeah, he crumbled. That's right. He just crumbled. And you're going like this. Jesus criminy. This guy just crumbled in front of you. Hurts doesn't crumble. He doesn't crumble. Like I said, folks, when I talk about the most talented quarterback, like last night, I think Josh Allen is the most talented player all around in pro football at that position. Do I think he could win a Super Bowl with that roster? No, I don't. He needs a roster the same way that Philly has it, where if he doesn't play great in one game, it's not going to cost him a valuable game. Hurts has the best of both worlds. Hey, if I'm not playing great, running game's not playing great, Barkley's not getting yards, we can win this way? Sure. No team in the league is set up like that except Philadelphia Eagles. And Howie saw that. That's why the Micah Parsons deal was like, hey, they saw that as a way to win. I want to show you something that makes that deal even insane. I want you to hear this. Howie Roseman was willing to give up 2 1s, a 3, and a 5, and maybe Jordan Davis, and pay the guy $47. And you were going to turn around in the offseason and pay Carter $40 million? You were going to pay $87 million of your salary cap to 2 dudes. Is that right? That's some cannolis, man. Because somebody on that team was not going to be there for the 2026 season. In my opinion, it would be A.J. Brown. $87 million. The cap ain't going up that much, folks. It goes up $20 million a year. You would have added almost $90 million to your salaries with the Carter extension and with the Parsons signing. You would have gave him 47. And then Carter, if he's, get this, you know what it would have been even more? No, get this. No, you can't. No, you can't. Don't get this. This guy says he can afford it. When you guys got rid of the number 1 defensive football team this offseason, you couldn't even spend $3 million on Isaiah Rodgers. You moved. Well, then why is he making moves now with all the shitty moves he made this offseason? You're contradicting yourselves. They cut salaries. And you had the number 1 defense in pro football. So get this. Instead of running back the number 1 defense, you took a blowtorch to it. And now you're trying to figure out the shitty position at corner. The safety position's no better. And you were going to make a trade because you're not sold on Jalen Hunt. Seals, do you still think Jalen can't read defenses? Let me address the first part of that. Prince, ask yourself this question here, and then I'll answer the rest of it. Well, here, let me see here. Also, AJ, Smitty, and Saquon didn't play great, but we won. Jalen Hurts showed he can carry a team. Prince, how can a guy read defenses when he can barely read where the pressure's coming from? And he just learned how to do it. Prince, and I appreciate the super. Prince, don't you think that's still a lesson being learned now? This is the first time that he's learning how to set protections. So if he doesn't know where the pressure's coming from, hence the 51 sacks, how in the world can he read a defense? I think he's getting better at both. Setting protections. Get this. Look at him, Rand. He's denying the fact that this is the first year, last year, that Hurts was setting pass protections. And yet he'll lie to you and tell you, wait a minute, 1 year of football, he thinks the guy can read defenses when he's still barely learning how to find where the pressure's coming from because he takes a mountain of sacks. How can you read defenses if you don't know where pressure's coming from? He took sacks in the Thursday game, M. Reyes. Dude, I'm done with that. So as I was watching the film on Friday from Campbell's first game, why do I see a little bit of Levante David? Because he scrapes the lane well and he runs down the line of scrimmage. And he's smart. He's a smart football player. Get this. So you're asking a question. Do you think he still can't read defenses? Yeah. I saw 4 throws where A.J. Brown was wide open. I posted 2 of them. He's standing right there. Hurts didn't see him. Yeah, I still think he struggles. Go turn the tape on. There were 4 open passes to A.J. Brown he didn't see. Dak didn't make – that wasn't a Dak game. That was a Lamb game. Bro, go turn the tape on. I posted 2 situations where AJ's with his hands like this, wide open. 4 yards past the first down, he didn't see him. You tell me. You tell me. All these guys like Hurts, Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, etc., are really getting the mental side of the game now. It's going to be a great season. Harry, I don't know who Zach Taylor is and how much of an influence he's having on Joe Burrow. I really don't. I thought their play calling in that Cleveland game was suspect at best. Okay, at best. I thought Shane Steichen had a great game plan for Daniel Jones. He utilized his strengths and his ability to get out and roll and move around in space. By the way, what's that guy's name that was the head coach of Atlanta? Arthur Blake or something? Boy, he called a great game for Aaron Rodgers. Holy shit. They moved Rodgers out in the perimeter. When Aaron Rodgers is in the perimeter like that, and he's in open space, Arthur Smith, thank you. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Stephen. When that guy is in open space like he was 3 years ago in Green Bay, you can't defend him. You cannot defend Aaron Rodgers like that. He is so good when he runs and he's going and he's rolling. I mean, he was torching Sauce Gardner. Just tremendous knowledge of the game. He was accurate. I don't know who's running the ball for them. They need a running back in Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf was outstanding in that ball game. Okay, I mean, Rodgers was spectacular. I didn't think Justin Fields was terrible. I thought they called a really good game for him as well. A really good game. Burrow and AJ are the 2 most wasted players in the NFL. Well, I don't know about a guy who's averaging 1,400 yards and 80 catches and putting the yards that he's putting up in Philadelphia. He's not being Get this. maybe on a personal fantasy side of it, probably. But when A.J. Brown is on the field, you got to defend him. He impacts the run game. He impacts the entire football team. Because when that guy catches the football, unlike the first game, and by the way, that passing game looked terrible on Thursday. It was suspect. Hurts was making plays with his wheels, and that's his skill set. Hurts might be the best dual threat guy throwing the ball. He just might be. Like, he runs like a wildcat quarterback, but doesn't throw the ball like one. You're like, who's that guy that used to be in Atlanta? No, New Orleans. Taysom Hill? Taysom Hill is a wildcat quarterback who can't throw. Hurts is like him, but can throw. He can throw. And see, here's another one. Michael Vick is by far a generational talent. Hurts isn't, but Hurts is better. Jalen's better. Just said he was the smartest quarterback, because now you're saying he can't read deep. No, again, because he didn't listen to what I said. I said he's the smartest quarterback right now in football and how he sees the game. I'm telling you that he can't read defenses because how could he? He's learning still. Patrick Mahomes, 2 years ago, douchebag, said this is the first he's ever really learned how to read defenses. If Patrick Mahomes is saying that, you're telling me a guy who's just learning how to set protections is not going to get better at it and is nowhere near where he needs to be yet? Dude, listen to what I'm fucking saying to you. It's not a contradiction when a guy learned for the first time how to set pass protections. They're giving him that responsibility because he is smart. Hey, Spit, sit back and be quiet. Be the last time we go to you. Allen is a monster. He needs a better coach. I'm with you on that. I'd like to see John Gruden up there. Okay? John Gruden. Now, the only problem that I would have with Gruden is sometimes his plays are just way too complicated. He needs to simplify it a little more. Hurts develops his mental game as a faster pace than Mahomes. What are you getting at? Hurts develops his mental game at a faster pace than Mahomes. What are you getting at? I'm not sure what you're talking about here. Hurts' mental game. Hurts has got a great mental game. Mahomes is a generational talent that relies on his gifts and Andy Reid, putting him in a position. Those coordinators in Philadelphia the last 2 years haven't helped him. They've helped the run game. What in the world has Kellen Moore or so far Kevin Petula, now it's only been one game, what have they added to Jalen Hurts as a passer? Nothing. Because Mahomes is better. Mahomes just learned to read defenses. Hurts already took that. No, he didn't. Really? Well, then you need to go back and watch first game against the Cowboys, because there were 4 wide open passes that the guys were waving at, and he completely missed. Can we please stop comparing Hurts to other quarterbacks? He's not in the class, but he damn sure wins at every level. Absolutely. A Philly, that's what I thought I was saying to you. But some don't want to hear that. Okay? They don't want to hear it. Okay? I mean, they don't. Like, I think Josh Allen last night. Josh Allen showed you. How many times did Allen throw that ball last night in that game? I think he had to throw because he was behind. And that's why the numbers were high last night, because they were down like 16 in that ball game late. And he ends up throwing. I guarantee you this is not what they wanted. I mean, he threw the ball 46 times. How many sacks did he take in the game? How many sacks? No safeties. I don't know how many sacks they took. Let me go over here to this one. He took 14 last year. Did Josh Allen. And I think that's got a lot to do. So let's see how many sacks he took in the game here. Team. He took one sack. He took one sack in the game out of 46 attempts. Threw the ball for 389 yards, 394. They had 500 yards in total offense. And you want to hear this? I mean, they had 78 plays in the game. That's insane. You had 80 plays in that ball game. You think the Eagles should punch Todd Monken from the Ravens? Poach Todd Monken from the Ravens? He might unlock a whole new side of Hurts. I think he'd have a good time coaching him. I do. Hey, Xander, I missed a couple supers here. I think I missed cue ball when I was looking that up. Guys, do me a favor, please. Seals, Hurts will probably tell you he's still improving, which he does. It's awful how bad the play calling was Thursday. You're right, Seals. Hurts is an elite winner. He just sees the game smarter than Lamar. He's a smarter ball player. That was on display last night. I came away from that game last night with a more of a respect for Jalen Hurts as a thinker of the game. He thought the game out on Thursday night. Receivers weren't getting the ball, AJ and Devontae, so he goes to Dotson. He runs more. He did whatever it took. Lamar's not going to do that. Lamar is so gifted. I think it's too much hero ball. It's just too much. And I think he puts his team in a bad place. Listen, if you get a couple 3-and-outs versus a Buffalo team that's got Josh Allen on it, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. And like I said, Hurts is going to figure out how to win a game like that last night. I'm not sure Lamar can. Hurts is better than Allen. He's not better than Allen. Because Allen couldn't just run those meaningless short passes that amount for nothing. Bro, it's a dumb take. Not debating it. Whatever. Nobody in their right mind would ever say Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than that guy. Nobody. Only the people in Philly, which is cool. And so you, whatever. Still think Hurts is too short to see past his massive O-line. No. What you do is you just take deeper drops. Drew Brees used to do that. Okay? Brees used to just do that. He would take a deeper drop. Okay? No. His team is more talented. It's a stop. Listen, I'm not debating it. I'm just not. Go debate it with someone else. Not happening here. That game you all watching, Lamar Jackson didn't cost the Ravens a game. He did good. Derrick Henry is the one that fumbled. And what happened after that? The defense was cooked. Derrick Henry put the ball on the carpet. He did. The Ravens are not in the position that they were to win that ball game if it wasn't for Derrick Henry also. So I'll take Derrick Henry at any time on my team. And for the record, I saw that last night. Don't ever come in here and tell me that Barkley, the last 5 years, Derrick Henry has as many rushing yards as Barkley has in his career. He's got 6,700 rushing yards and 70 touchdowns. Your guy's got 7,000 rushing yards in his career. Derrick Henry has more 1,500-yard running years on shitty teams too. Nobody is in that guy's league. Nobody. Okay? Hey, easy. Are you under the impression he played on a good team in Tennessee? Are you fucking drunk? Josh Allen straight up can't run like Kurtz. Yeah, funny. I saw 430 yards. And I'm not debating that, man. Seals, Derrick Henry's twice the size of Barkley. Okay? I think that's part of it. Derrick Henry, bro, Saquon Barkley will not come near Derrick Henry's career. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Barkley's got to get another 1,900-yard year. He's got 4 or 5 years of plus 1,500 yards. Barkley's never done that in his career except for a year ago, going over 1,400 yards. Never has done that in his entire career. And in the last 5, he's got 7,000 rushing yards. Know what you're watching. By the way, Barkley on Thursday, boy, that's the second game in a row he's under 70 yards rushing. Okay. I hope he runs for more yards against the Chiefs. Henry's unreal. I don't know how to make it, how you make it to the playoffs and not. That's right. Dude, I think that was Baltimore's biggest problem that they had in that playoff game last year. I mean, I just don't. Okay? I mean, Barkley's probably one snap count that we don't know about. Oh, he's probably on a snap count. I don't know. He had north of 20 carries in that game Thursday night, did he? Or did he not? Derrick Henry goes down too easy. A guy who just passed Jim Brown last night for 5th all-time in rushing touchdowns goes down too early. Well, that's a new one. I've never heard that. Derrick Henry goes down too easy. Guys, did you see him go down too easy last night when he was face planting people? That's the dumbest take of all time. He goes down. Derrick Henry goes down too easy. Really? Hey, dude, you'll just say anything, won't you, bro? Whew. Jalen is a great player in a top 5 quarterback. Yes. Allen is overall better. It's not no. Here, John Elway, Steven. John Elway was a better player than Joe Montana. Joe Montana was just a better quarterback. Elway had a stronger arm. Elway had great legs. Elway could do anything. He could throw a football through a brick wall, but he couldn't win like Joe. Nobody won like Joe. Not even Brady. Brady's got the numbers. Montana beat Elway and Marino in Super Bowls. And handily. Handily. What's that got to do? Are you fucking nuts? If I was Cooper DeJean, I would keep that in my wallet, that picture. So when you go to Canton and you see the bust of Derrick Henry in there, you could tell your grandkids you had a great hit on him. So when Cooper DeJean pays for a ticket to go to the Hall of Fame and sees Derrick Henry's face in there, he could tell his little kids, yeah, I had a great hit on him once. And reflect back on the good old days. Because he'll be buying a ticket to the Hall of Fame. Allen is a freaking alien. Dude, he is so good. Now, listen to this one. Montana wasn't even a mobile quarterback. It's funny. The throw that immortalized him in the back of the end zone when he rolled right and found Clark in the back of the end zone was him running right and throwing on the run and hitting Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone so that they would win the NFC Championship and go to the Super Bowl. Funny. But he didn't throw that from the pocket. He threw that on the run. Boomer was the MVP that year in the league too. Lamar lined Henry up that play, for being honest. Derrick Henry can't drop the ball, dog. He can't. Derrick Henry's stiff arm is as good as Jim Brown's. It's the best stiff. Walter Payton had a great one. I'll tell you what, Saquon's got a great one. Saquon Barkley has a great stiff arm. Henry's is like Jim Brown, Walter Payton. That guy makes you into a highlight reel and you see it. It's funny. Henry's career is above and better than Barkley's up to today. You're making it sound like he outrushed him by a shitload of yards a year ago. It was 115 yards. I mean, you forget he went for 1940 himself. It was like 70 yards. He outrushed him by 70 yards. You make it sound like the guy had this insane season. Henry's already gone for $2,000. I mean, this guy was on pace to have another. 2 years or 3 years ago, he had 9. He finished 10th. You want to hear something crazy about Henry? Henry missed 9 games 3 years ago, and he still finished 9th in rushing. And he played 9 ball games. This guy would have had 3 years of over 1,900 yards rushing. Barkley has to keep it up. Well, so far, not very good out of the gate. But again, it's one game, and it's September. Once again, that's not a Henry issue. I didn't hear you say any of this last year when Barkley was running for 150. I never said that Saquon Barkley didn't have a spectacular year. I've never seen Saquon Barkley ever have a year like that in his entire life. Chris Jones had a year like that. Jamal Lewis had a year like that. Those guys all went for over $2,000. I mean, Barkley's never gone over 1,400 yards until a year ago. Let's you're right. Like Gail said, let's see him do it again. I know Henry's going to get north of 1,800 yards this year. You know why? Because that's what he does. Yeah, Chris Johnson, thank you. Kid from Tennessee. That's right. He's going to go north of 1,800 yards because that's who Derrick Henry is. Henry and Josh Allen are elite players who'll never win Super Bowls because they're not on elite teams. Correct. TBF Barkley had 84 of those purpose yards. It's not that bad. He almost put up 100 yards of total offense. Okay. But it's not up to his standard. Yeah, because if Hurts doesn't play the way he played in that football game last Thursday, you don't win it. There is no doubt. Barkley was wasted in New York. Henry is habitually year in and year out. Barkley just hasn't. Henry is a future Hall of Famer. Barkley not yet. Yeah. But let's not go crazy here. Henry was not on a very good organization, too, in Tennessee. Seals, can you imagine if Howie would have signed Henry or Barkley? I think he would have. I think they're the same. Look, I think Saquon runs better in space than Henry. Henry's just a Mack truck. Dude, they were bouncing off him last night like pinball wizard. He was just fucking running through people. And I agree with you, Bob. I think Barkley's a better fit. I think Barkley's more of an elusive runner than what Henry is. He's going to ram it up in there, and he's so physically intimidating and so physically imposing. He's 6'4". He's almost like Eric Dickerson, but with power. People just bounce off him, man. Henry's a great fit anywhere. Right. I think Saquon is the closest thing to Sanders. He runs with that elusiveness. You know, Barkley doesn't take as many minus yards as Sanders. He's not quite Barry, but he kind of runs like that. I played against I played against one of them, Barry Sanders, and he was also my teammate. So playing against him, I don't think he's as elusive, Barkley, as Barry. Barry's elusive, man. I'll tell you this: if Barry Sanders was naked and he was running the football, you'd never catch him. Grabbing his jersey or clothing sometimes is all you got on that guy. He was difficult to get on the ground. Can you believe Jerry Jones passed on both Henry and Barkley? No, I can't. No, I cannot. Okay. So, I mean, yeah. But that game last night had everything you needed to know about the quarterback. Hey, bro, you go ahead and take the guy with the lesser career. I'll take the guy who's still in the prime of his career and still getting it done. He didn't start the year out with 60 yards. He started the year out with 166. Albeit, put the ball on the carpet. Again, no. You beat the Cowboys. They lost to the Bills. I don't know. People forget it was O.C. Paul Hackett's West Coast offense that Montana ran to perfection. Hackett was the O.C. for the 49ers and coach of KC with Montana. Nice pull. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. I didn't know he was the O.C. Yeah, that makes sense. Paul Hackett was also the former coach at the University of Pittsburgh. And he was there. So, absolutely. Let me tell you something, man. You tell me this man, Angelo Cataldi, let me get the words down here. Bobo Patullo. Okay? You go into a Cowboy game and you have 4 total targets to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, and you're trying to tell me that the passing game with Bobo Patullo, albeit I'm stealing from Angelo, I mean, how in the world, if Hurts doesn't play the way he plays, they lose that ball game. That was Jalen. And who dubbed Bobo Patullo? Ladies and gentlemen, AngeloCataldi.com. Make sure you go there. I read it diligently each and every single time he posts early in the week or when there's a story. And there was this last Thursday. And Howie Roseman wanting to give up some future 2 1s, a 3, and a 5, and other things. What is that? Is that Jordan Davis? And the Cowboys pass. So Howie obviously not happy with the trash cans that he signed in the offseason. The players he signed in the offseason. Without further ado, let's bring our friend in. The legend himself from WIP. It is my friend Angelo Cataldi. How you doing, brother?
Well, I'm happy. I think I got a prediction right on your show, Dan. I said we'd be talking about Kevin Patullo. And I'll be honest with you, during that game Thursday night, I was screaming, you got A.J. Brown. He's the best receiver in Eagles history. They waited till the very end of the game, 8-yard pass, the whole game. That was it. What? Seriously? Point. Look, to Brown's credit, he didn't flip out like he's done in the past. I did. I was the one yelling, going, what the hell is wrong with you? Get the ball to this number 11, who is the best receiver. I'm including Howard Carmichael. I'm including Tommy McDonald. I'm including Mike Quick. It's the best one they ever had. They didn't throw him the ball the whole friggin' game. What? And they walked in. They won because CeeDee Lamb couldn't make a catch, and they won the game. But that doesn't really polish this turd for me. The turd is not polished for me. That was horrendous. There were so many things in that game were bad, and they won. It's like mind-boggling.
I think it's really hurts. I mean, if Jalen doesn't play like that in that ball game and he doesn't run, Angelo, they don't win. So get this, to your point, I don't think that had anything to do with play calling. I think that was improvising that Hurts made in the game that made those decisions for him. I mean, last night I made a point a couple minutes ago. I think that Jalen is a smarter player than Lamar Jackson. He sees the game better. Absolutely. He sees ways of how to win. Yeah. And if he doesn't play like that, they don't win.
100% true. Many of those plays were broken and required Hurts to scope the field, find a lane, run down, get to the first down, get down before he gets crushed. He was brilliant in that game. Brilliant. And he will not get – it's irony because he's not loud and he's not demonstrative. So he doesn't get the attention other guys do, but he finds a way to win the damn game. Do you understand? He didn't just cover the multitude of sins by Patullo and that defense that the first 4 possessions, I don't know what they were doing. He covered for Sirianni again. Sirianni. Yeah, somebody just won $1.8 billion in the lottery. Sirianni won more than that with this. Sirianni, he's the luckiest man I've ever witnessed. Honestly, he's got hurt covering for all his dumb mistakes. That whole debacle with Carter before the game, clearly there's no damn discipline here. That was the 5th time in 2 years, courtesy of Marcus Hayes, who wrote about it today. It's the 5th time in 2 years he's gotten fined or sanctioned for dumb behavior. Dumb behavior. Because then he just, I'm going to keep it in-house. He's going to keep this. But let me point out something to everybody out there. that Jalen Carter is a really good player. Let's take this opportunity. When the whole world is talking about how stupid that decision was to spit on Dak Prescott, let's do a little tribute to him while we're here. We won't keep that in-house. No, that we'll put right out there. Jalen Carter's phenomenal. He did actually not play tonight because he spit on the quarterback. But when he doesn't spit on people, he's excellent. My God, I see this stuff and I go, how the hell has this guy got that record? He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Don't you agree, Angelo, that if you're really going to practice what you're preaching, you got to make a statement on something here where you're suspending him or you're doing this? Coming out and giving me coaching speeches on, like later today, giving me coaching speeches on how to handle it. And like you said, well, we're going to handle it in-house. Hey, I can appreciate that. But then don't come out and tell me that you're doing this and the culture in the building's great. When you got your star player, now I know why he wasn't a captain, Angelo. He wasn't a captain because you know why? He doesn't have discipline.
Doesn't have that. I'll go further. He's a friggin' moron. All right? I'll say it straight up. That the starting quarterback is looking at the biggest threat he's facing for the next 60 minutes. And he spits on the ground. He spits on the ground. And then Jalen gets in his face, and I'm sure at that point he's going, oh, my God, don't tell me I'm going to get this guy to do something stupid. And then he does it. And Frank, I don't know if Dak baited him. I don't know how that doesn't matter whether he baited him or not. This guy was so undisciplined. They just rolled out a championship banner, and it took Jalen Carter 6 seconds to desecrate it. You realize that 6 seconds to say, well, we won, but I'm still an idiot. Look at me. And he spits at the guy. No. And then not too public. This guy, Stan, at that point, you know this, Stan, the whole world was viral about what an ignorant, stupid way to start the NFL season was. One play into the entire NFL season, this big star spits on Dak Prescott. All right. And we can, I in no way would like to embarrass Jalen by saying anything public about it. My ass. Are you in a sense of discipline around you? Are you a coach or are you a cheerleader? Are you nothing more than the guy who runs the country club? Is that it? No, I know. I know people just shrug at this stuff. It doesn't matter. They won. Screw that. Show you got a backbone. Do your freaking job. How about that?
Angelo, $40 million potentially is on the table. Are you concerned about that? Like, if you're going to invest that kind of money in a player that, like Marcus wrote today, has made multiple decisions. I mean, like, you're talking about decision making. You're talking about a guy you want to be the face of one of the faces of your football team. I mean, and for an organization that really cares about the imaging of how they look. I mean, you know, Bob Lang puts out all the propaganda he possibly can. I can't think that's sitting well inside that organization.
It shouldn't. I hope it doesn't. I hope they understand that all winning is paramount, especially in the NFL. You know, show some sense of professionalism in the course of it. You know, don't have the whole world looking at you and going, what the hell is wrong with these people? They're the champs and they're spitting on people and looking, and little kids are up watching it. Dad, what did he just do? Did he just honk a loogie at Dak Prescott?
Did you see what happened in the Florida game? Did you see what happened in the Florida game against USF? A player from Florida spit on another player.
Right.
And my first reaction was, well, we've got a trend going here. So again, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just coincidence. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
How about your boy Sirianni, though, doing this before the game? It's banner night? What do you mean it's banner night? I never knew it was banner night. I mean, it's banner night. Come on. Right? You know, you can't have it so not genuine with him. He's so not a genuine guy. Now, he might be to his team, But does he really have to go down the line of that the way the organization is talking to him? I mean, I don't get it, Angelo. I mean, just say this. We don't want to go out there. We don't care. Just be honest about it. We don't want to go out there and watch the banner drop. We got other things on our mind. Why does he have to put a charade on?
I told you before I didn't. What I wrote on the blog today is, people, the number one thing I get in my email is, how do you not like this guy? How do you not like Nick Sirianni? That they use the Goomba thing. He's Italian like you. He's Italian. And then I go, I would do ancestry.com. I don't think he is. He can't be. I doubt that. Then they go, he's been to 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, and he just won one. How can you not like the guy? And then I go, well, I can't like him because he's clearly not disciplining his team. He clearly will share nothing with the public. He has no actual concern about how anything looks, except to make sure that he's placating every person in his locker room all the time, always kissing their ass. That is a full-time job. When he's not doing that, he's up in the front office kissing the owner's ass and the GM's ass. It's basically a full-time ass kiss, right? And I'm supposed to love this guy. And then I realized he did that. Then I stayed up. Now I know I'm retired. I still go to bed early. I stayed up after the storm delay. I stayed up to the end of the game. I wanted to hear how Sirianni handled it. And from the first minute he got in front of the mic, I wished I had gone straight to sleep. I didn't, because it was the same BS he's always selling. As you know, I don't really share that. And nobody in the media goes, what do you mean you share? This is a major national world event. And you don't have enough respect for people to give us short thoughts on that going with the player and how you would plan to handle that. So in his 5th infraction in 2 years, maybe now you will find some way to stop him from acting stupid. You think maybe we could get some dialogue going on that? Or do I have to hear the same BS over and over again about how I am not worthy of an explanation from you or anyone in the organization when something outrageous like that happens? I am not worthy of this. Now I'll pay the personal seat license. I'll pay $500 a game to get to see your team play. And I'll buy all things. I'll do all the stuff you need me to do. But when I want an answer to a question, don't answer it. No, don't. I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position. Screw you. How's that? Screw all of you for the way you handle this stuff. You are disrespecting the fans. That is what you're doing. You're disrespecting them. If that's the way you want to do it, fine. But I know what respect is. I saw it when people like Doug Peterson were here, when people like some of the people in the Phillies organization. Pete McCann was a guy who was really honest and forthright. You don't have to be this way unless maybe you're insecure because you know you're not actually qualified to do the job you are hired to do. That's the way I look at it.
How about this, Angelo? What would you do if you were given that position of how you would discipline Jalen Carter? What do you think should happen to Jalen Carter?
All right. First thing I do is go public. And I go, acts like that are not in keeping with the philosophy of this organization. They are not tolerable under any circumstances. At this point, Carter clearly is still very immature. This is a repeat offender. So I am going to suspend him for an additional game without pay. Yeah, bring on the union. That's fine. Because he is tainted my brand. He has hurt the reputation of my team and the organization by doing something outrageous on national TV. So he gets another game suspension, and then we'll see if he's going to toe the line after that. If you do nothing, if it's all lip service like this, Dan, the only actual action taken was by the officials in the game throwing him out. If you don't do a lot beyond that, you're not sending him the right signal. He's going to do other stupid stuff in the passion of the moment. And now he's a mark to do it because they just saw how Dak sucked him in, and there'll be more of that. They'll try to goad him in the future because they realize he has no control over his emotions.
I made a Draymond Green comparison that he's going to have that kind of stigma on him that he's not going to get any leeway in a game coming up if there's any kind of infractions. The NFL's going to – remember how they targeted Ndamukong Suh after he started doing all that stuff to Rodgers, and that's the kind of reputation you don't want, because that hurts your ball team in certain situations when you get those personal penalties like that and those 15-yarders.
And I'll say one other thing, Dan, and this, I guess, is part and parcel with what goes on now in the media in Philadelphia. Nobody's killing him. Nobody's killing him. I don't see anything. Marcus Hayes a little. Nobody's coming out and going, how dare you? Don't make us all look stupid. Philadelphia already in the NFL has a thug reputation because of the fights in the stands and all this stuff. And then the player goes out and acts that way. And it just reinforces this myth that all these people that love the Eagles are a bunch of Neanderthals, that they're all morons. But they're not. I know them. I spent 33 years with them. And it just reinforces the negatives that we don't need. We don't need all that stuff. This is a great sports town. And those Eagle fans are the most passionate and loyal fans of any team anywhere in the world. And they shouldn't have to, number one, never get the answers to questions that come up in games because the organization and the coach is afraid he's going to in some way upset one of his players. No, this is just disgraceful. This whole thing stinks. And it's the reason, here's the irony of it. The only reason it didn't become a massive thing, nationally and especially in Philadelphia, is because Jalen Hurts still found a way to win the damn game.
Yeah.
And that's all. If they had blown the game, right, they would have gone, they would have played a lot better. If Carter was in the middle, they would have scored, given scores in the first 4 possessions. Come on, they wouldn't have. And they probably wouldn't have, right? But they won, so everything's fine. Let's go KC next week and play game 2.
How about this here, too? What do you make of Howie Roseman offering up 2 1s, a 3, and a 5? And according to Jay Glazer, and I text Jay, I said, was it a player? And he goes, yes, probably Jordan Davis. I mean, you look at all the moves that they made, and I called them trash can moves. I mean, outside of the draft, those guys, now, what are those guys? Looks like a prospect that could help this team. The corner position is atrocious. Corner 2. The safety position, I mean, Sidney Brown can't tackle. Maybe Makuba, if he could stay healthy, could be a guy. Those backup edge rushers don't look like much. I mean, Howie's made all these moves in the last month, Angelo. I mean, it just looks like he's happy with what he has, but he's not happy with what he signed. How do you read
about Adoree Jackson? You want to talk about Adoree Jackson? He was horrendous.
Yeah, he was
over 100 yards, 5 catches on 7 targets. He was brutal. Bad, really bad. And the thing is, it didn't have like these Eagle defenders, the pass defense had any idea what pass interference was. They were clawing people down the field. They were all over stuff, and they were getting flagged for it. It's like, no, this is the most bitching you could ever do after a win. Like, if I were doing 4 hours on the radio, at the end of 4 hours, I literally have to remind myself, I would be bitching so much that I would go, oh, geez, that's right. They won.
They won.
They won the game. They won the game. As long as you win the game, it made Nick Sirianni's record even more impressive. It was so great. But, they play like that.
You and I.
The defense sucked.
Let me tell you this. You're right about Adoree Jackson too. Let me ask you this here.
Oh.
So here's what I have to fight with Philly fans. So I go like this. Somebody's going, well, Jordan Davis played well, and this other guy played well, and I'm going like, wait a minute. Dallas scored on every possession in the first half. They were doing things at will. If CeeDee Lamb makes those 4 catches, that guy, they beat the Eagles handily in that ball game if he makes those catches. And this is what I'm fighting like you. hey, look, it's September. September's a liar's month in the NFL. You really don't
I
know
agree.
what you're looking at here. But I mean, you look at things like that and you're like, I don't really think anybody on that defense played great. I think there were some people that played well. And that's a Cowboy team that I think will win 7 games this year. And you're glazing over that? I mean, I don't really see that defense having improved. And I think what Howie was doing, Angelo, by putting that treasure chest of draft picks up, he's not happy.
Well, no. And then right after that, he did add another defensive end because he clearly sees they don't have a good pass rush right now. And he let it happen. And again, you know why he let it happen? He said why. I'm not going to do the same thing I did after 17. I'm not going to worry that much about sentiment. I'm going to try to worry about not just this season, but the next season, and next season, next season. Well, guess what? You got a much weaker defense. And I think they thought that Vic Fangio was so good as a defensive coordinator, he would figure it out. But you can't figure it out if the players at those positions are not good enough. If Adoree Jackson is out there to cover CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens, you're not going to win very often because he can't cover. He was completely undressed in the game on Thursday night. And they're going to have to figure that out. They're going to have, Dan, they won. I keep saying it because it's hard for me to believe they won. And here's the one other thing. This is how unappreciated in our city and in the country Jalen Hurts is. Any other quarterback, including Lamar Jackson, is the Eagles quarterback in that game Thursday night, they lose. Hurts was so intelligent in the way he played that game. So calm, so focused, so able to cover up all the stupid play calling and the dumb coaching and find a way to get that first down and run that clock to win that game. Jalen Hurts in my years here is the most unappreciated champion we've ever had. Champion. See, when you become a champion in Philadelphia, Dad, you go to another level. That's an exalted level. That's the top level. And he's there. He has been there for years now. And I'm still waiting for people to show this kind of awe that they should be at the way that guy played. That guy's better than Randall Cunningham ever was. Better than Donovan McNabb ever was. Hell knows he's better than Carson Wentz ever was. This guy deserves so much more than we give him in our town. He should be a hero here. A hero for the way he saved that game. Imagine losing to the Cowboys at home in the opener of the season after you won a championship. He saved them. He saved them all. And I don't even think they realize it.
2 last ones here for you, Angelo. Okay, well then, all that being said, who are you rooting for this weekend? Are you rooting for Andy Reid or are you rooting for Sirianni? Boy, this has got to be a rough one for you this weekend.
It's not. If Russia had a team and they were playing Andy Reid, I would be cheering for Vladimir Putin. All right, if that helps you at all. Okay. I hate Andy Reid with passion that is really at this point illogical and ridiculous, but it's a fact. So I will be there rooting harder than ever for the Eagles to win, and hopefully it'll be 34-0 again, and they'll keep killing it on. That's all. I told you that really was a lot of
odds. He gives you a lot of odds. Doesn't he?
Now the Eagles are in a bad position. First of all, it's in KC. Second, KC lost the opener.
Yep.
It would be a real surprise if the Eagles won that game, the way they played in their opener against the Cowboys. But we'll see. That's like you said. September is a month of lies. You never know what you actually have in the month of September. It takes more time than that.
That's right. You have to get into October because, again, if you go back a year ago, Angelo, remember the Saints came out? They were like 3-0, 4-1. They were playing lights out ball. The Eagles were 2-2. And you got
Yep.
the reverse of what ended up happening. Okay, I got this last one here for you. A.J. Brown, how many games, what's the over-under before you think this guy blows up at the play calling? And, it's already being reported that there's like a relationship issue between Hurts. I think Hurts wants to win for the team. I think A.J. wants to win games his way. He wants to win. But I think he wants to win the game going through him and not through Barkley.
Yes.
Everybody's selfish that way in that sport.
Right.
So I don't think it's like, I don't want to win. I just want my numbers. He wants to be the focal point of it. How long do you give this before we get to start seeing some book reading, the Book of the Month Club on the sideline, or we start seeing something, because he's not getting one more target.
Right. Oh, no, that is one of the things people should be watching. Because if they gave him one target in KC Sunday, that will be plenty. He will blow up. He will do it. And he won't have to. The fans will first. I will first. He's a great player. They didn't use him. It's like he may as well have spit at somebody. You realize he should have spit at somebody. It wasn't like they were going to use him. They didn't use him. You're play calling for the first time in your career. You're putting together a play call. And the Cowboys are not a great defense by any means.
No.
And they're not a great pass coverage defense. Let's set up a plan where we don't target our best receiver, right? And then that jackass Chris Collinsworth, who is just so putrid. He is, honestly, I would rather have tinnitus than listen to Chris Collinsworth. I'd rather have loud ringing in my ears than listen to that jackass, right? And he's going, well, when you double covered, they weren't doubling my ass. They weren't doing anything. The Eagles weren't calling the guy's number. And occasionally, maybe when they were, Hurts got flushed out of the pocket. He had to make a play. Well, at that point, you're just looking for something. And normally he ended up running and making the play. They can't do that again. All right. But the fact that they did it once is idiotic. And let me tell you, even last year, there are a couple of games where we screamed about Kellen Moore not calling AJ's number now. AJ needs to be called. His number needs to be called, Dan, no less than 7 times and often over 10, because he's great. And even if it's just a 50-50 ball, he'll catch it. If he's covered, he'll catch it. We've seen this for years. He'll catch it. So, Frank, AJ, if you want, call me. I'll do the screaming for you. I was doing it during the game Thursday night. You'd have to be a moron not to call that guy's number repeatedly. A moron. He's the best receiver the Eagles have ever had. Throw the freaking ball.
One target in there. One target. I want to end it on this here, Angelo. Rob Thompson, how far does he have to go to keep his gig? Does he have to go to the World Series? Does he have to get to the NFC or the NLCS? You tell me. Boy, I'll tell you what, man. I don't think much of him.
Well, you shouldn't.
I don't.
Now,
I don't.
I'll make one prediction is that he won't misuse Zach Wheeler in the postseason this year since Wheeler's out for the year. All right. And that may, I'll be honest with you, Dan, that may save him. That may save him. They're gonna go, he didn't have his best pitcher. And you gotta give him one more year. Topper. He's Topper. He's another really sweet man in the clubhouse, kissing every ass in his sight, right? No, honestly, I hope if he doesn't win a World Series, he gets fired. But I don't necessarily think that'll happen. It would have happened 20 years ago because there wasn't this tolerance now for failure. But here, they will spin it into a success. They will tell you, given what he had to deal with, it was remarkable what Rob did this year. But it's not true.
Way. It's not true.
Watch the games. Watch the games. It's not true.
He's terrible with his bullpen. He's terrible with his starting pitching. And his lineups, too, sometimes are suspect. Hey, let me sneak this one on there on Schwarber. Do they pay him max money in this offseason here? I mean, do you think Dave Dombrowski's going to give him north of $40-50 million. Do you think that they're going to do that? I mean, you can make the argument, Angelo, that him and Ohtani are 1 and 2 right now in the MVP race. So, I mean, are they going to go down that line?
They're going to give it to him. It's going to be massive, and they're going to give it to him. And then after a couple of years, they're going to regret it because they're going to still be paying.
What does that mean for Harper, though?
It means, yeah, you know what? Harper needs to shut up and play out his contract. All right. Did he sign a 13-year contract?
He did.
When you sign a 13-year contract, you are getting more money total, but you're giving up some money annually. You don't get double dip on that. I know Scott Boras thinks he does, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. They're going to do it for Schwarber for one reason. Schwarber is the Phillies version of Jason Kelce. Same kind of guy. Beloved by the fans. Beloved by the fans. They would face so much negative reaction if they didn't give Schwarber the money. They will give it to him, but he's going to end up being on the heavy side. You can already see the tendency there. And he's not going to get a faster bat when he's 33, 34, 35, and 36. God knows how many years they're going to have to give him. So the back end of that deal is going to crush him, going to hurt him.
It's
but
good.
they're not going to have a
like Pujols. It's going to look like Pujols' last 3 years
going to be bad.
In Anaheim.
It's going to hurt him on the back end, but they can't do it because he's too popular and he's too important on the team right now. He's their best player now. He's better than Harper.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you guys check out my friend Angelo Cataldi's blog. He writes it like he feels it and how he sees it. That's at angelocataldi.com. I mean, boy, you were right on Bobo Patullo. I mean,
let me tell you something else. Sunday, go Putin. Go get him, let him in. I'll get killed for that.
Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you. That is Angelo Cataldi. Thank you, Angelo. That is funny, man. If Russia had a team, I'm going for it. Oh my God. Oh, Bobo Patullo. Oh my God. Hey, I don't really have that angst like he does. I don't know. Philly's problem is when they go cold. Hey, well, that's what happens when you're not a pitching team and you rely too much on the big fly. Absolutely. Why is he on here? Because he's legend. At least Sills admits he's not an Eagles fan. Angelo claims he's a fan, but he's from New England. He is. He's a Boston fan who made a lot of money off the Philly faithful. Are you, Eric, trying to suggest that the number one rated man in the history of sports talk radio in Philadelphia wasn't entrenched in the city of Philadelphia for over 30 years? He just retired 2 years ago. You're making it sound like this guy's been away from the game like for 100 years. When he left, he was number one. Okay? No, it's not a legend in his own mind. You made him a legend because you tuned in every day. When Angelo Cataldi left, he left because of money, not because of ratings. That guy didn't leave because of ratings. You know, that's one thing I tell people about me. I've never been fired for ratings. I've never in my life been fired for ratings. I've been fired for things I said on the air, not for production and for producing. There's not one job I've ever had where I was fired for ratings or lack thereof. Not one job. It is so untrue. And if anyone ever tells you that, it never happened. Never happened. Let Patullo get a feel for it. Listen, it's one game. I'm not diving off the cliff on that. Okay? I'm not going there where Angelo just went with it. I'm not. It's September, and it's game one. Okay? I told you had to get out of September, and you have to get into October before you know what your football team is. Okay? If he's the greatest to ever do it, then that sets the bar real low. Well, I don't know. He was the number one talk show in Philadelphia in mornings in his time slot. That's not just sports. Not sure what you're talking about, Junior. What do you think? I put Bill Colarulo on? You got to do something in ratings before I put you on. I mean, you got to kind of like be somebody. Angelo's the GOAT. Been listening to him since I was 10. I'm now 38. There you go. That's what I'm saying. You think I put people on who, hey, just because you're in radio, that don't mean you're good. I mean, just because you're on, seriously, listen to some of the shows on in your own city. They're not very good. They're cheerleaders. And people hate Boston because they're the center of every major American sports besides the NFL. Because that's technically Foxborough. Red Sox versus Yankees, Celtics versus Lakers, Bruins versus Canadians. Philly's in that room. Philadelphia, listen, Phillies versus the Mets, Phillies versus Atlanta, Phillies versus the Cardinals. I mean, Phillies versus the Dodgers. When I grew up, do you know what the series were when I was a young kid? There were two of them in the National League. It was Mets and Phillies, and it was Phillies and Pirates. Phillies and Dodgers, too, usually for the NLCS. That's what I grew up. Philly and Los Angeles were always in the NLCS on who went to the World Series and played the Yankees back in the day when Steinbrenner owned the team. It was always those two. Yeah, Cardinals in there sometimes, maybe Atlanta a little bit. But when I grew up, it was Luzinski and Schmidt and them dudes versus Dusty Baker, Reggie Smith, and them guys in Los Angeles and Garvey. Every year, the NLCS came down between those two cities. Philly had a great baseball team. And the winner of that, the Mets were pretty good, but they weren't good like LA. Okay? They were. Why are you jackasses taking personal shots because you don't agree with someone's take? Don't be pathetic. I'm not sure who you're talking to. Okay? Sills, what is Detroit going to do without Ben Johnson? Ben Johnson. Nothing. It's September. If Kevin Patullo kind of farted around a little bit, hang on to Detroit. I think Johnny Morton will be okay. Got to wait and see. You guys were saying the same bullshit last year about Kellen Moore. Remember, he was using all that motion in the first 4 weeks and it didn't look good? Hang in there. I am not indicting anybody. The only thing we broke down the other day was the Eagles playing not a B game or an A game against the Cowboys. That's not an indictment on the season. Howie making a move with that kind of trading power when it came to the people that they were going to give up, in my opinion, I think that's an indictment on him and the people that he brought in, he wasn't happy with. I'll make the comment one more time to you. I think he's very excited with what he has. I don't think he's very excited with the people he brought in. Because he's trying to make a move around it all. Corner, safeties. He tried to sign Parsons by giving up 2 years of your future. Hey, let me put this out there. So the Philadelphia Eagles were going to go into 26 and 27. You weren't theoretically going to have a first-round pick unless how we package some of those trades up or those picks up that he has. Next year he has 12, right? He probably could have got back in the first round. If he traded some of those picks away, maybe. Think about it. He was willing to trade away the Eagles' ability to make a pick in the first round for the next 3 drafts. The next time you would have picked a first rounder would have been in 3 years. It would have been in the 28 draft. 28. 3 years. He was willing to do that. Boy, I'll tell you one thing for sure. That guy covets his first-round picks. And his first and second and third round picks, he covets that. And he was willing to wait 3 years to make a pick. Okay? And this pick that we talked about last week, Zadarius Smith, hey, I'll let you know how it looks in about 3 weeks. I don't know the shape he's in. I don't know the kind of condition he's in. He's missed a game. He hasn't practiced. Not that he needs a ton of it. He's a veteran dude. Will he come in and play like Sue and like Linval Joseph did a couple years back? Maybe. Probably. When Sue got to the Eagles, he was not Sue Rams. He was not Sue Buccaneers. He surely wasn't Sue Dolphins. But he was good. He was limited, and he was still physical at the point of attack, and he played to the one thing they needed. They needed to have better run stoppers, and that's what Joseph and Sue brought to you. Like here, if that dude gives you 9 sacks, okay, and he gives you 9 sacks, that'll be a grand slam, especially for the money that you're spending on him. Hey, did anybody ever really find out how much they paid him? Because if it was $9 million, he is starting. This is actually funny. I never thought of Zeal. I never thought of it that way. Seals, how bad did Ajomo suffer from Carter not being in the game? I didn't see much of him on Thursday night. Well, let me put it to you this way. If you're playing next to a Lawrence Taylor or you're playing next to Aaron Donald and you put in Bobby Donald or you put in Sammy Taylor, how do you think you're going to play when that guy's getting drilled off the ball and you don't have an elite player in there? There's a reason there's second-team dudes in the NFL. You got this guy here and you got that dude there. Not that they're bad ball players. But don't think that you just go like this. Well, shit, the backups should just step right in. This ain't college. This ain't USC. Like Gary Cobb playing at Southern Cal, and this guy had a dude named Claiborne behind him, or he had a bunch of those good ball players behind him playing linebacker where they were 7 deep with first-rounders. The NFL doesn't have that. There's 53 dudes on a team. But here, I got to tell you this before I can bring in G. Cobb. 70 guys make a team today. Gary Cobb would have played 27 years in today's NFL. Hey, up to 8.4 in incentives. Well, Zadarius Smith is being brought in to start over Jalen Hunt. He's a starter. All right. I hope you're checking out our friend, G. Cobb at Fox 29. I've been watching his videos. He's killing it over there. And he's posting a lot of stuff here. We're going to get his take on everything. We didn't get a chance to speak with him last week. So let's bring in our friend Gary Cobb and get his thoughts. First and foremost, we haven't heard anything yet, G. Cobb, on Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Angelo just went off on him right now. What should the Philadelphia Eagles do, in your opinion, with Jalen Carter after that spitting incident last Thursday?
Well, they definitely got to get his attention. I mean, so, the things he cares about, of course, is playing. I know he had his agent up there. His agent had been up there during training camp. I saw his agent up there. They're up there talking and everything. I mean, with the opportunity he has before him, you just go, how could you do something that stupid, man? Let somebody, really just coerce you into doing something that foolish, and you take yourself out of the game. Now, I don't want to get into a whole show on spitting, but there's spitting that goes on in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
But Guys don't spit right there in front of the ref. You might spit on the guy in the pile. You know what I mean?
You do.
I mean, that's stuff that happens in the pile. But, you're not going to get yourself thrown out of the game. You're going like many times, oh, okay, hey, I'm going to get you back for that. Tell the dude, you're going to regret you did that. And you got a whole game to get the guy back. You got you got 60 minutes to get that guy back. Plenty of plays. But, so he why he would do that right in front of the ref, I mean.
How do you think they should handle it, Gary? Gary, how do you think they should handle it?
Well, I think what they got to do is they definitely got to get his attention and realize, look, man, look how you hurt us, man. You got, so I think suspending him from the team wise, you're hurting the team even more.
I know. See, I'm not for that. I
think you got to hit him in his pocket. The league can find him, the team can find him. You hit him in the pocket where it's gonna make him hurt. But taking him out of the game, I'm sorry. Especially they're playing Kansas City.
Yeah,
they cannot take him out of the game. I'm sorry. Forget that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You suspend him some more or something when I say suspend, I mean you go ahead and fine him. You cannot take him out of the game. They need him this week. Come on. Look at did you see any kind of pass rush? I mean, my goodness. They might put pressure on him a few times, but they need him. My goodness, with the guys outside, that's just not going to get it done. I mean, they're going to need to play better, man. You're going to have to play better than that. And, the Chiefs, they lost, so they're hurting. So, you do not want to take him off the field. So he's got to play.
Gary, I'm going to show you something here.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to show you this. So maybe they do this. This was an incentive check that I got from the Lions. Okay, I got 10 grand because I started a ball game.
Yeah,
maybe they don't start him for the Kansas City game.
Well,
and they
hey, you know what? That's a good. Yeah, I can see doing that. But yeah, you're right. That you could do that. You could do that. You could do it. Maybe they don't start him. You work into his incentives. Make it hurt his pocket. That's right. Made it hurt because he needs something that's gonna show him. Look, man, you're over here with your silliness, man. Silly, stupid. You do that, and you're hurting the team, man. Look how you're hurting us. We got guys out there that shouldn't be out there. And so you can't let him get away. He's got to. Afterwards, we talked to him in the locker room afterwards. It seemed like he was, he he'd done something stupid. But I'm sorry, you cannot do stuff like that. You're supposed to be one of the leaders, man. And we're dependent on you, and then you go over some nonsense like that. Like I said, you got to be smarter.
But Gary, here's for me though. I mean, you preach all this stuff all the time, and Nick's constantly at the press. We got a culture here. We talk about our process and this. If you're a coach, I mean, you've got to make some sort of public statement in some way where you've got control of your locker room. Where because Marcus Hayes wrote today in the Inquirer, this is the 5th time now that they've had to address poor character by him in some undisciplined move. I mean, you're on the threshold of paying this guy $40 million annually.
That's right.
I mean, I'm with you. I think when him getting thrown out, to me, I think that's okay because he missed the entire game. That's equivalent of a suspension anyway.
That's a suspension right there. That's right.
So I'm going to fine his ass, but he's got to get it.
Yeah, you're right. He got to get it, but. You want to hurt him. You don't want to hurt the team.
No,
that's why It's got to be on his pocket. What you just showed about hitting him with the ticket, with some way or another where it hits his pocket, because you can't afford to hurt the team right now. We especially this series of games. These are going to be some tough games.
Oh yeah.
There's no guarantee these next 3 games. There's no guarantee they're going to win these games. I mean, they're going to be in some tight. especially you see how I'm sorry, I'm not happy about Kevin Patullo either. Come on, man. You can't let AJ Brown go and you just sit there and you don't get him the ball. I'm sorry, I got to put him in motion and get him the ball some. You can't let the other team's defense dictate you who you're going to throw the ball to. I'm sorry. And I don't know. I don't want to. I don't think it's necessarily just Jalen, but they got to put him in motion. They got to get him into the game. I'm sorry.
4 targets, Gary. 4 targets between Devontae and AJ Brown in that game. And we were told throughout the entire offseason here and in training camp that there were going to be new twists in the passing game.
Yeah, come on.
On Thursday, I saw regression in the passing game. And I'll give this to Jalen. If Hurts doesn't play that well, and he doesn't play that well with his feet and moving the sticks with his wheels, they don't win that ball game.
They don't win that game. You better believe it. They don't win that game. And you've got to change things up. And they are going to try to take away Saquon. Come on. How can somebody look at last season and not expect them to move more guys into the box? And then I see other teams, come on, they're being creative. They're getting the ball, throwing the ball. I mean, you're going like, are we in the same league? It's ridiculous. I was not happy with the, offensively.
Do you think it was rust?
Well, I do think that the entire league is kind of rusty. They're not really playing until
Bucks in Atlanta. But Bucks in Atlanta was sloppy as hell. I watched.
Yeah, I saw some of the other games. They weren't. There might have been a few games where you saw an offense really open up, but for the most part, it wasn't good offense. You had teams kind of stopping themselves, and that was really frustrating for me to see and watch. And talk to AJ after the game. Of course, he basically had the zipper on his mouth, but you can see he's standing there going like, man, they don't even throw me the ball. Now, other teams don't let you dictate to them that you're not going to throw the ball to your top receiver. You got to put him in motion. You got to change the formation. You got to do different things in order to not let them double him, and you get him the ball. I mean, if you got to throw him some quick screens or whatever it is, get the ball in the guy's hand. He shouldn't have to wait to the fourth quarter or whatever. I don't know. I think it was the fourth. I know late in the game till he gets one catch. You throw the ball to him one time. Now, you're doing the other team a favor doing that. I'm sorry. That is not acceptable. You're not going to beat.
The Eagles actually took a star player out of the game.
Come on.
I mean,
yeah.
They took both those guys, I thought, out of the game. Gary,
that is not acceptable, and they're going to have to do some things. You cannot just basically say, okay, we can't get the ball. You guys don't want us to throw the ball to that guy. What? Come on. You got to be more competitive than that. I'm sorry. That's not acceptable. And really looking back at the game, after the game, you're going, oh, great job. Great. No, I wasn't saying great job. Okay, we won. Okay, we didn't lose the game, but we were trying to lose it. My goodness, we were trying to lose it. And really, truth of the matter is, the Cowboys dropped the game, because that game was there to be had. And if CD Lamb's catching the ball,
4 catches, he gets 4 footballs, he wins that game. Gary, will you tell these people in here, maybe I'm wrong, and you tell me if I'm wrong or they're right. I watched that game. People are like, well, there were guys that played well on Dave. I'm like, they scored on every drive in the first half.
Yeah,
how are you saying they played well and they were getting drilled off the ball? The secondary play was atrocious. And that Dak Prescott was picking that secondary apart. And if it wasn't for the drops, the Cowboys probably dropped 3 scoring opportunities. I'm like, am I right when I say that the corner position is right now?
I was not happy with that performance. That was not good. Come on. Defensively, are you kidding me? They weren't getting any pressure on Prescott. It wasn't like he was running for his life. He's back there patting the ball. You had guys that were open. They just dropped some passes. If they don't drop those passes, the Cowboys win that game. I'm sorry. They got to play better than that. Now, I happy that they found a way to win? Yeah, but that's not going to be good enough. And I tell you, these games coming up, they better strap it up because these are going to be some tough games. And I wasn't crazy about the running game. Come on, they didn't run the ball that well.
Gary, this is the second game. This is the
What's that?
second game Saquon Barkley's been held under 70 yards rushing. The Super Bowl and now this one. And now you go back and got Spags on Sunday night.
That's right. Yeah, they've got their work cut out for them. And they're capable of playing better. They're going to need to play better. The offensive line is going to need to get some movement. They didn't really get much movement against the Cowboys.
Don't you agree that Dallas won the battles up front? I thought Dallas won the night on defense, and I thought they won the night on offense. And I think that had a lot to do with Landon Dickerson and, of course, Carter not being out there. You took two big stars off the field. I thought Dallas won the night on the O&D lines.
I was sitting there looking at it. I saw it. I agree. I agree with you that they really were. They were beaten up front. They didn't dominate the Cowboys. They weren't getting the kind of push that you expected to see. Movement where you moving those guys off the line. The Cowboys defensive line. They were standing there. They were taking them. I mean, a lot of times when Saquon got the ball, you got two guys in the backfield. Come on. That's blocking people. They weren't getting any movement where you see on the double teams. Now, they showed a couple plays like the touchdown that Saquon had. They blocked that well. But it wasn't where it was a regular thing where they look at that and go, man, we played well. You ask any of those guys, they're not going to say, well, man, we played the way we're capable of. No, they did not play the way you want to see them play and the way they're going to need to play if they want to get what they want, which is, they want to go back to where they were last year. So they're going to need to play better. It's just that simple. And that's on both sides of the ball because on the defensive side of the ball, I didn't see much. I mean, you don't see where, the defensive line is dominating. I will say that Jordan Davis, I thought he played well other than that ugly sack. Come on, man. All you got to do is grab the quarterback and take him down. What are you doing? He take it for granted like the guy's going to go down. I mean, he had the sack. He had him a sack. But I will say he played one of the better games I've seen him play.
How about Campbell? How well do you think Campbell played?
I like what I saw out of Campbell. I mean, he's so young, but I see a guy being aggressive. He's smart. You can see that he understands some of the coverages, the play that he made on the tight end downfield and everything. That's the way that's supposed to be done, where you run with the guy. That's not an easy coverage, and he did a good job with that. And, of course, did a great job getting that ball out and really was the key play in the game. That's the reason they won the game because Dallas was on the way to scoring and taking the lead. And they were able to get that ball out, and that was a great play on his part. And, the kid's got good work habits. He studies. He's not there just going through the motions, and he's a big plus because he's got tremendous athletic ability, but he's a smart and he's a quality player, and he's just going to get better and better. So I was pleased at the way he played, realizing this was his first NFL game. And so I thought he did a good job, but I wouldn't say that I get really can give great grades to the rest of that defense. I can't. I mean, they're going to have to play better than that.
No pressure. And that leads me to this here. What do you make of Howie Roseman coming out of Jake Glazer's face on Sunday saying that Howie was going to give up 2 1s, a 3, and a 5, and a player? So get this. Think of this. That means Howie Roseman wouldn't have had a first-round pick for 3 drafts. All the way into you would have had to wait 3 years to take a pick in the April draft of 2028. You would have been picking. Okay?
Wow.
And for him to give that up, unless he trades back in, but for Micah Parsons. Now, I made this comment. I said he's happy with what he has on his team. He's not happy with the people he signed. Because look at the movement here. I mean, how did you read all that?
Well, I think that, I think you make a good point. And I think that Howie was looking at it where he really wanted to get him a dominant pass rusher. I think that's what he was looking for. And I do think that he would do that, but Howie's the kind of guy that I think he would have been thinking that he's going to make some other moves that are going to counter some of these moves. So he is going to end up getting that number 1 pick back. But how he would do it, I don't know exactly how, but I think that he probably had an
trading
idea.
Trading AJ.
I don't know who, but yeah, I think he would move some guys in order to do that. But without a doubt, he's thinking that, look, he wants to get a pass rusher and make sure that they're getting pressure on the quarterback, because that's something you got to do. And they're going to have to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback. I mean, that performance they had the other night, that's not going to get it. I'm sorry, that's not going to get it. And some of the people they brought in, you're going to see some people start leaving here. They don't. if it doesn't happen, they're going to move people on. Because they know they got to get pressure on the quarterback. You're not going to win in this league if you're just the quarterback's back there patting the ball. Like, come on, man. Somebody got to get to the quarterback. And of course, they were playing without Jalen Carter. Of course, that means something. But those guys from outside, I can't say that I really saw somebody just break out. You got this job here. Who wants the job? We're looking for somebody. Does anybody want this job? I mean, that's what it is. And they know they got to play better in order to continue to win, because these games. But in a way, it's almost good that they're playing these teams, the next 3 teams, because we're going to find out what this team is made of.
Even Denver.
Yeah, you're right. Denver, you're right.
Denver's going to be a tight game. All right. How many games before we get a nuclear implosion from A.J. Brown? And will you tell me one thing here? Will you tell me this? Why does the relationship between Jalen Hurts, excuse me, and A.J. Brown, and I don't know if you think it's important that they like one another. It seems weird now that it just doesn't seem like they're on the same page anymore. AJ and him are kind of offsetting each other here a little bit. I mean, they've kind of become detached a little here. Is that important? And in your opinion, if he doesn't start getting those targets, you can't go another game without AJ getting more than 1 target, can you?
I don't think so. I don't think it's good. And I know it is. I mean, when AJ was talking after the game, he's over there, he's trying everything he can without exploding. And of course I'm reading this, and he didn't say anything to me or nothing like. But
you can see it.
I'm looking at him. I'm going like, man, this dude is ready to explode.
He is. I saw it too.
And you know what? And I was mad right along with him. How are you going to let a team dictate to you how many times you're going to throw the ball to your best receiver? Get the guy in motion. Whatever you got, get him the ball. What are you doing? It's okay. Everything's fine. Everything is not fine. We got to get this guy the ball, man. So I know he was ready.
Hey, I got 3 games. And you're going to see a plethora of books being read.
Well, I tell you what. If they don't get the ball to him, I'll be ready to go in there and blow up right along with them. Come on, get the guy the ball. What are you doing? I mean, we're not going to do the other team a favor, and we know that teams are going to stack the box to stop Saquon. We know they're going to do that. Now we got to be smart. Now, yes, we don't need to let him let them take the ball out of Saquon's hand, but we also don't need to let them say, "Oh, okay, well, we can't throw the ball to AJ today. They're doubling him. We can't throw the ball to him." No, you don't do that. I mean, you look at all the great receivers, they find a way to get the guy the ball, so you got to get the ball in his hands. And like I said, if it's putting him in motion, lining him up in different places, you got to be creative, and they got to play better.
Do you think he's hurt? You think he's hurt?
No, I don't think he's hurt. He's not hurt. He's out there before the game. He's fine. See him warming up and everything. No, he's not hurt. He's not hurt. No. I think, I don't want to speak for him, but it looked like he was mad. And I don't blame him. Come on, you got to get the ball to the guy. Come on now. We got to do better than that.
I think what I should do is send him a book. There's a guy back in the day named Napoleon Hill.
Hey, no more reading on the sideline now.
Think and Grow Rich. It's called Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, or W. Clement Stone's Positive Mental Attitude. You can also have that, so we could start to maybe get a collection of books together for him, because if they don't throw him the football, he's going to have a lot of idle time. I'm sure you've got a couple of.
Hey, I got some of those books right back here. I got some of them,
Yeah, so you know who Napoleon Hill is then. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, all right. That's right.
I mean, I got 3 games, Gary. Hey, what? So real quick, what do you think?
Yeah, you know what? I say 2.
2 games. All right. What do you make? What do you make in Kansas City? Do you think they win this ball game?
They got to play better. I tell you that. They got to play much better than they did. And you got a Kansas City ball club that's
just lost.
They're going to be Hey, they're coming out, man, in fire. And you saw them kind of getting into it. Who's that? The defense? Who's the big tackle? He plays tackle, but they had him lining up at end. But he came inside, and
Gary, we have something here for you.
What's that?
There's a video of Cooper DeJean reportedly partying on Saturday night.
Is that so?
Cooper DeJean was seen partying at a club on Saturday night. Many Philly fans are upset he isn't training as they play the Chiefs on Sunday. He's out there with beers in his hand. He's hanging out. He's very it's right now on my Twitter page, and there he is. He's out there hanging out with chicks.
Yeah.
Now again, it is Saturday night. Nick probably gave him.
Yeah, they probably got the weekend off, probably. Yeah. So he was out having a good time, huh?
Oh, he's out. He's the he's the sheriff of he's the sheriff of Wildwood now, man.
Is that?
Yeah, he's the sheriff now.
Hey, I know I see all the little girls screaming every time he goes somewhere. Oh, yeah. Cooper.
I know, man. Look,
he can't even go anywhere. Yeah, we got a patrol of the little girls walking around, following them all over the place.
Hey, he's got cereal now with cereal bowls, and when you there's a prize in that crunch. I hear it's his phone number. It's in there somewhere for the girlies to buy it. It's just really great. A lot of distractions going on.
Hey, well, you know what? Hey. Believe me, I've seen. The little girlies have distracted a lot of players.
Oh
down through the days. Believe me. Yeah, you wouldn't want me to start telling stories, boy. I could. Man, we would be here. Everything from I've looked out in parking lots and seen cars moving. I'm going, why is that car?
Gary,
that's a parked car out there.
I'm going to tell you a Mongo story. God rest his soul, and he wouldn't mind. I love him. Steve McMichael. So he comes down to play the Buccaneers. This is my first year. I knew him from when he played at Texas, and all that. I go, and our hotel is right next to this place down in Tampa called Malika's. And so we're in there. We go down there, and I walked. And I got myself like some food. We went around the corner. There was a sub shop. Here's McMichael and Richard Dent, Dan Hampton. They are out of their minds. The Saturday night before a Sunday game. And it is like, they're all over the place. And these guys are playing. And I'm like, man, it's going to be hot. And these guys are going to be drunk tomorrow when they get out there. You know that Tampa Heat, right?
Yeah, you better believe that. It's hot down there in Tampa, boy.
Yeah, and early. These guys, you should have seen their faces. Red like this Coke can. They were, how you doing there, Steve? Hey, Mongo, you all right? He goes, a gas mask, everything going on. These guys were sucking on it, man.
Hey, I know about that because when I was with Detroit, we used to have to go down to Tampa. Times our defensive line, and believe me, we had a good defensive line because we had Doug English, Al Baker, You know, but Baker, and we had some other guys. We had a good defensive line.
Yeah.
And these guys, boy, you know what they dreamed of at night? Sacks.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
They want to get to the quarterback. So we had different calls we could make where I could turn them loose and say, go get the quarterback. You know, we could see they're getting ready to throw. And a lot of times those guys would be in their stance and go, hey, Cobb, you turning us loose? No, play the run. You got to play the run. Those guys just want to go get the quarterback. But anyway, they would be down there. And as we got into the game, boy, I had to get out them and say, hey, man, look, hey, if you're tired, then get out of here and have them put somebody else in there. But you got to be running to the ball because those guys get down there early in the season, man.
Too much Mons Venus. Too much Mons Venus. Gary, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
You
have a good one.
Fox 29. Make sure you check my friend out covering the Philadelphia Eagles here. Yeah, let me take a look at this here. There it is right there. Look at old Coop. Look at this guy. This guy's distracted. This ain't Iowa any longer, homies. That Philadelphia, man, he going down to the beach, hanging out with the honeys. You got it. Man, look at old Coop. Look at this, man. Whoa, baby. Got it, man. Yes, sir. Oh, Cooper DeJean, the big pimp. That's his new name. Pimp DeJean. Oh, my God. Pimp DeJean. Go. Hey, I love the kid more today than I did 2 minutes ago now. Look at Pimp DeJean. What are they saying about the pimp? Hold on down here. He's 21. Okay. God forbid an NFL player has fun. Beyond, okay, look at it. You should have seen the kids in college. Dude is young NFL stud and single. Let the man go out and try and find it. What? Oh, why is he having fun? DeJean's partying before the Chiefs game? Look at this, man. He didn't play. He didn't play that hot. He was okay. He wasn't spectacular. Man's having fun. He's got a ring. He's chasing hoochie mamas. Damn. It's okay chasing hoochie mamas. He's got a pimp ring. You know, he's like the Pope with that big old pimp ring now. Hey, you want to see my pimp ring? How you doing, right? Oh, no. No. Hey, this guy's having fun. He's 21 years old. I don't mind it. By the way, it's one thing if that was a Dory Jackson partying at a bar. I'd be like, Hoss, you need to stay at home, lock yourself in a room, and do as much tape and sit-ups. You better do TO sit-ups. If you're Cooper DeJean, I'm all right with Pimp. That's my new name for him, Pimp. Pimp DeJean. Look at this guy. You know why Xander likes him? Because Xander sees himself in him. That's why he likes him. He sees old Pimp. Pimp DeJean. Look at that video. He's a fucking say it's fucking classic. I think it's great. Now it gives this is wonderful content. And if they lose, I'm going to hammer them with it just the way it is. And if he wins, he gets the desserts. You get killed when you do things like this. And when you write a check and you cash it and you win, you get the accolades for it. If you lose, you get hammered for it. That's what being a pimp is. How you doing, man? This is Cooper the Pimp. I'm Cooper the Pimp. Hey, he just wrote a check. There's no cash in it yet. It's September 8th. He's got Sunday. We'll find out. He gets beaten a couple passes, and he's out partying with the honeys. He's going to get killed on Monday. Oh, man. What a year. My first week was a grand slam as it was. How you doing? Told you take the Browns and the points. The Bengals weren't going to do it. How you doing? Told you to take the Chargers over the Chiefs. How you doing? Right? Let me take a look at that. I told you to take how about this one here? The Texans. I said take the points. The Bucks, take the points. I was shocked on the Jets. I thought they'd kill them. I thought they would. Commanders get it 21-6. I know Daniels played bad with 300 total yards. It was terrible. Here, let's see what else. Tonight, don't forget Vikings and Bears. Cardinals, they win by 7 over the wonderful display of Kellen Moore. Kyler Murray had 163, and Spencer Rattler had 214. Jags get it done 26-10. Trevor Lawrence. I want to show you something here. Let's see how many first-round picks won on Sunday. Kyler Murray won. Trevor Lawrence won. Joe Burrow won. Daniel Jones won. Jaden Daniels won. Aaron Rodgers won. Baker Mayfield won. Bo Nix won. Jordan Love won. Stafford won. Josh Allen won. Mahomes won. So you had 12 quarterbacks that were first-round draft choices. One on the opening Sunday of the NFL. Joe Flacco won. He was a first-rounder. No, he didn't win. He was on the Browns. That's right, because Burrow won. Sills, I have to admit, the Kansas City and Chargers halftime show was the best since Prince. I didn't see that. I didn't see the. I mean, I went away for that. I didn't see that. What did I think of Cam Ward? They don't have any talent around him. They just don't. They need to add some. Yeah, but again, with an older player, Chuck, you really don't know. Okay, Mahomes seems lost. Like I said, it's September. If you're not going to indict Kevin Patullo, how can you indict Mahomes? You know what I'm saying? How can you indict Mahomes, winner of 3 Super Bowl MVPs? I'd hang in there. The Chargers are a good football team. Okay? They're a good team. Hey, Sills, Nick Sirianni makes me effing sick every time I hear him speak. He's so full of shit. Yeah, I know. But he's mastered it now. He's the king full of shit guy. But that's what they want. That's why Vic is doing this. Ask Howie. Ask Nick. I don't know. Wait, was every guy who won a first rounder outside of Hurts? Trying to think. I no, because Purdy won too. Purdy was the 7th round guy. So Purdy won. But almost every first round guy who played. Hurts is a 2nd rounder. Let's see. Is it true only 2 guys? Purdy won. Is it true only 2 guys that were not first round picks won on Sunday? Geno Smith, Raiders, he won. Three players who were not drafted in the first round won games on Sunday. 12 were first-round picks. One. All of them are first-round picks. Yeah, Geno Smith was a second-round guy. How's that for you? You're not going in the first round. You're not winning in the NFL. Yeah, Geno was a second-round pick out of West Virginia, I believe. Yeah, he was almost a first-rounder. Right. And get this, tonight, that's right. Both quarterbacks tonight are first-round picks, right? Vikings, J.J. McCarthy, and Caleb Williams. Almost every one of these quarterbacks that are playing on Sundays now are first picks. How you doing? Hold on for a minute. I got to do something before I get Big Z up here. I got to do one thing here just for a second here. Hold on. Let's see here. One more thing here. Yeah, I got to get my groove on here, man. Well, I don't want to play it too long because I don't want to get in trouble. So here, one more. Here, Cooper the Pimp. Hey, whoa, Cooper the Pimp. Man, that kid's having a good time. How you doing? And the man that now, because he is now, well, off the market, is now going to vicariously live his life through Cooper DeJean, is my man, Big Z. Xander Krause now joins us here. Here's the old pimp passing it down to Cooper DeJean, who's the new pimp.
Yeah, you're right about that, Big Sills. Cooper DeJean living it up. You're not giving the kid a hard time. He's 22 on a Saturday night. Let him be, Big Sills.
No, they probably gave him the weekend off.
Yeah, I think they did. I mean, look, NFL players are still humans, and when you got cachet like that, everybody likes to go and get fondled a little bit. That's what Cooper DeJean's doing.
Hold on, I'm still writing this down here. If he shits the bed on Sunday afternoon, it's here context and content. There you go. Two things I love: context and content. How you doing, big brother, man? What'd you make of it all here, man? I mean, so. Let me ask you this here. So 2 1s, 3.
Oh, we're starting with Micah.
And 5 and something else. I can guarantee it wasn't a Dory Jackson. Okay. Holy cow, man.
No,
this guy was ready to give 3 years. The next time you were going to pick in the first round, barring he didn't get back in, what's going to be 2028?
I think it was Jordan Davis.
I do too.
Think about it, because they gave Kenny Clark in 2 1s, and the Packers picks will probably be a little bit better than the Eagles, because I think the Eagles are going to be better. And then you have the comp for Kenny Clark would be Jordan Davis, right. And then the in-division tax would be the 3 and the 5. So that's what I think it was. Now, what does that tell us? That probably there's a couple ways to take this though. Like I don't think every single time it means that the Eagles are unhappy with their edge rushers.
No.
I think that they've identified that Micah Parsons would be a player that they're willing, above that demarcation line, as John likes to call it, where the certain players they'll pay. They had a chance at Micah Parsons. They've loved the player. They probably understood that this was the only time ever that Micah Parsons will be available on the market for them to try and get, even if it being, a tough thing to do. And they went all out for him. I got to respect it. So, I mean, it's clear that they wanted the guy, though. And I don't think –
Dude, I had to play it back on Sunday. I'm like, what did Jay Glazer just say?
You're right. Jay Glazer definitely said. I mean, look, he's a damn good player. They took a swing at him because he was on the market.
Agreed.
It didn't work out for him, but at least we know they tried.
That doesn't mean they hate Jordan Davis, too, by the way. That doesn't mean that.
Just – I mean, Jordan Davis is a good player. He's not a talent.
He's not like that guy, right.
So, I mean, look, I think the one thing maybe is Eagles fans who have always criticized Micah Parsons, probably lay off a little bit because
now you know what I was thinking of him.
Well, in the same breath, the GM that you praise, was ready to sell a lot of picks to get that guy. And pay him $47 million on top of it to boot.
And pay the 47. That shows you what they think of him.
Yeah.
That is really something that you have to take a look at there, man. No question about it. All right, so we haven't heard anything yet on Carter. Let me ask you, Xander. You're right. They're probably going to wait until after the Monday night game. They'll probably come down early morning tomorrow morning. If that were you, how would you handle the Jalen Carter incident with Dak Prescott? How would you deal with it? I'm not suspending him another game.
I'm not suspending him.
He's already missed a game.
Well, here's the thing I think you got to do. Now, I'm going to try and speak not as an Eagle fan here. All right. I just want to be objective for a second. Think about the league. Think about the multi-billion-dollar each team is, and then think about at large what the NFL represents. And all you have to do to figure that out is look at how much networks pay the NFL for one single game. One single game. That's what kind of value you're talking about. So it's not just about, a player spit on him, who cares? Or I would have done the same thing because somebody spit at me, I would have knocked him out. That's not the point. You have to look at it from a at-large situation. Now, if I were the NFL, I don't think it benefits you at all to suspend the players or to suspend Jalen Carter. I would slap him with a fine that's substantial enough for him to learn a serious monetary lesson. That's what I think would be the approach. I don't know if they're going to do that because the NFL has kind of come down hard on trying to protect the shield. And our boy Bob Brown, I'm not sure if Bob's in here, but he did the same thing you did, is he was comparing it to what Lamar Jackson did last night. Now, I see them very differently. You see it more like Bob Brown. I see it much differently than both of you. But Bob looked at that as something that was almost worse for the NFL than the Carter situation, and I don't agree. I mean, you got to remember,
going into the stadium, I mean, he didn't go into the stadium.
Fans are in that stadium, though, to watch the players.
Okay. Putting their hands on the players, though, and then the player turning around and pushing him back like that, you also have to remember you can have a civil lawsuit on that.
Yeah,
you can have a civil lawsuit.
Being a paying fan doesn't give you the ability to reach over. I mean, dude, that kid hit.
Oh, no, he slapped him in the head.
He's lucky DeAndre Hopkins didn't turn around and clock him.
I know.
I mean, that's an older dude in the NFL who you have one thing go wrong. That dude pushed his neck like that.
I saw that.
I mean, I think DeAndre Hopkins honestly thought it was a teammate because they were all kind of celebrating.
Yeah.
Lamar saw it, and then he did it to Lamar, and Lamar said enough. So I'm kind of more on Lamar's camp where, yo, dude, sit the fuck down in your seat. And
I'm not saying those guys are wrong. I'm saying that you're open to more interpretation of lawsuits.
Yeah, I think that's because you put your hand on You put your hands on somebody.
You're putting your hands on somebody.
That's fair. That's fair. Versus Carter was in the game. All right, that's fair.
He's on the field spitting, and we're
at another player. So
at another player,
they're protected.
Right? They're not going to go anywhere in a lawsuit. Now, a fan can sue you for having them put their hands on you. Now, again, I agree with you.
I mean, you got to think about it. Like, macro, it's like there's the paid performers who are the reason that there's people in the stands.
Right. That's right.
And then there's the people in the stands. And like, I love, believe me, I'm one of the people in the stands. So I have love and respect. But at the same time, I would never think about putting my hands on one of the players. That's ridiculous.
Stupid.
That's ridiculous. That'd be like walking to, I guess that's not a good way to, I won't say that because it's not a good way to compare it because, players are human beings. They're not objects, but that's who you're going to see. You're going to see the superstars. You're going to see the guys who are on the field. Keep your hands away from the fucking players, kid. I mean, I don't give a rat's ass who paid for your front row seat. I don't give a shit. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous to me. But that doesn't mean, back to Carter for a second, probably a big fine is what I think they'll do. And I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is, it does impact the shield a little bit more. I'll put it this way. Neither of them are a good look.
No.
Yeah, you don't want either of them happening.
Doesn't it take a shot, though, at Nick Sirianni a little bit when you're out there preaching and telling me about how you guys have a culture inside your building? And Marcus Hayes wrote a story today, and this is now the 5th incident for this player. I mean, when is enough where you start doing this? He's obviously not getting it. This is a man you want to invest $40 million in. I mean, surely you just can't keep telling, especially you fans. And I mean by you fans, I mean, Xander, you're a Philadelphia sports fan. How many times are you going to be bullshitted by this? This is probably it. This is not going to happen again.
Well, I think Carter's interesting because Carter comes across to me now. I'm just going off of what I see.
He looks like a great dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he comes across to me like a guy who actually understands that he can't do that shit. But I think where his problem is, and I can actually relate to this, he can't handle his emotions in the moment, right? Like when something happens, he struggles to rein it in that moment. But when he gets out of it, it's not like he's like, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? And maybe that's some maturity. Maybe that's growing as a man a little bit, but I'm not going to kill. I mean, look, he spit on Dak. He thought Dak spit at him. Like you and Gary said, spitting happens more in the NFL than people realize. It's just that one got caught in 4K for every TV set across the nation. That's the problem with that one. So I don't know. I hope they just give him a fine and move on from it. There are some people, just to give context to where we are right now because of no update. There are some people who speculate it's going to be bad because they haven't given a ruling on it.
No,
I actually don't see it that way. I think they're waiting.
John, I think it's the game.
I think they're waiting. I think let's see tomorrow. If we don't get news tomorrow, I think we're going to have a real issue. But I think you're going to get news tomorrow, and I don't think it's going to be a suspension, honestly. I don't think the league wants to take him out of the game. I really don't. But we'll see what ends up happening.
I think it's a $50,000 fine.
Yeah, that sounds probably. I mean, I don't know what size fines they're giving in the NFL nowadays. I know it's.
Well, wait, because it's now another. Well, wait a minute. Has he been in trouble with the league before?
I don't think so.
I think it's only been stupid shit in the sidelines and.
No, and remember he had that dust up at Florida. Or not Florida, at Target.
Target.
In Philly.
Yeah, but that was in-house stuff, wasn't it?
It was in-house, but it wasn't league. There's been no league issues with Target. Again, I don't think Carter's a bad dude. I really don't. Some people who have done things repeatedly, you kind of can see that they don't want to correct their behavior. They're like, I don't know, Antonio Brown. He doesn't give a shit that he's a wild card. Jalen Carter doesn't seem like the type of dude who's trying to make bad decisions. I think just sometimes his emotions get the better of him. And here's the tough part about it. If you're the Eagles, you don't want to take that out of him.
No,
because part of that is what
you want to put guardrails around it.
Exactly. That's partly what makes him a good football player. Yeah. So you got to be careful with that, but you also have to, the guy does have to learn. Look, man, you're representing a $10 billion organization and a $1 trillion league. Okay. Understand that. Right, like your paycheck's not coming from thin air; it's coming because of that. You can't hurt that brand, and I think he knows that. The challenge for him will be able to manage it in the moment.
I want you to correct me on this.
We got to talk a little bit about Week 1 too. I'm sure we'll get there.
We're going to do that. We're definitely going to. Now, why is it, and why me? I'm just spitballing here. How come it seems that A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts don't have a very good relationship anymore? It's just, these guys, they weren't on the same page on Thursday night. They're not on the same page now. Do you think this is an issue? Or, let me tell you, this is how I see it. Jalen wants to win, team-wise. I think, and I said this earlier, I think AJ wants to win AJ Brown's way. He wants to win, but he wants to be the focal point of it winning. I don't have a problem with that. That's what makes him great. He wants to be the reason. I think he doesn't really get it. Bro, you being on the field, whether you catch the ball or not, you're part of the reason why that offense and that team is who they are, is because you're on the field. But he wants he wants to be involved in the game. And I don't think he's been involved in the game. A year ago, they had the fourth worst passing offense, and they start out again with one target to him. Now, I don't know. How do you think he takes this over the next couple of weeks if this trend continues?
Well, I'll say a couple things on this. One, I'm not going to speak on their personal relationship because I have no idea, but I will speak on their professional relationship. Two, it's a good thing that Jalen Hurts is winning the battle of who gets what, because that receivers wanting the football is universal, and it exists with every single one of them. I'll tell you what's not universal: winning across the league when you have a good wide receiver. So I'm damn happy that Jalen Hurts is getting his way with how he wants to go about trying to win a football game, whether it's passing or running, because that's led to way more success for the Philadelphia Eagles than than having a receiver that gets his way getting the ball. Now, where you're probably right is there's a natural human element here. Like, I know a lot of fans will be like, doesn't matter, Sileo's making something out of nothing, but you got to remember, A.J. Brown's a human who thinks he's probably one of the best receivers in football.
He
was not happy getting one target. Now, again, I like Jalen Hurts' way. I don't want A.J. Brown to get his way. Now, how will that unfold, though?
That's a power struggle.
Right. That's a little bit of a power. Now, Jalen's going to get his way. The question will be, what extent will A.J. go to get his way? Or when will he just kind of want out? You know, like, hey, I respect you guys and everything, but like, I want to go get target. Like, I want to go and be a number one receiver and get a lot of footballs thrown my way. You know, hey, look, if that's what he wants, and so be it. You know, I can't control that. I want the team that wins. I want the team that's talked about as the top of the league. I want the team that's won 15 of 15 games with Jalen Hurts starting and finishing for the last 15. That's what I want as a fan. Now, I know other fans, and again, I'll continue to say this. I don't know what more true Eagles fans, people that wake up on Sundays ready to cheer for the Birds, people who watch us all through the offseason, people who care about the Eagles, and there's still some of them out there. I don't know how they don't like Jalen Hurts. Like, I get it. It doesn't look like some other guys, but like, what do you really want? Do you want like a quarterback that throws a lot, or do you want a team that wins? Like, when I dreamed of the Eagles being successful, I didn't dream of a quarterback throwing 5,000 yards. I dreamed of them holding a Lombardi. And Jalen's got us closer to that and has won that more than any other quarterback we've ever had. So, AJ, get in line, or like they're going to trade him.
Do you know that last night's Buffalo Bills Baltimore game, you know what my takeaway was?
A crazy game.
Dude, crazy great game, too.
Josh Allen is unbelievable.
Unreal.
Unbelievable.
Let me tell you what I came away, though. I came away with this. More respect for Hurts, because Jalen would not lose that game. He would not lose that ball game like Lamar did last night. He's not going to. He finds a way to see the game through, and it may not be through him. It may be through someone else. It may be he's not losing that. He is so much smarter of a player than Lamar. Lamar is a fabulous talent, dude. He is but Hurts is not losing that game. You can't turn the ball over. You can't get 3 and outs with Josh Allen on the field. He's seeing the game better. You know what's happened? That Joe Brady guy has connected better with him than Brian Dable did. I'll tell you this. You talk about all-around talent. That guy is so freaking great. Okay? He is so freaking great. I mean, that was incredible. 420 some odd yards of total offense.
Yeah, look, I just want to speak on that game a little bit last night. Josh Allen is just an unbelievable football player. He is fun to watch. He's great for the league. He's a competitor. And the thing I like most about him is I think he doesn't lack what some of the other great quarterbacks do. Like speaking of Lamar. Like, I think Lamar is the most talented quarterback in football, but I don't think Lamar has the intangibles needed to really take a team to the top every single year. I think Jalen has that in spades. And I think Josh has a lot closer to that than a guy like Lamar does. I respect that about Josh Allen. I love the way he plays the game, man. He plays it with vigor, with tenacity. He doesn't shy away from anything. He makes all the throws. He makes all the runs. Impressive player. I think just as a football fan, just
I think he's getting smarter.
As somebody that wants to turn on the TV and watch good football, that dude is a stone cold killer, and he's very fun to watch. So I love Josh Allen. Honestly, I love Lamar too, but I think Lamar is missing something, man. I think he's missing the it factor to some extent, and I don't know what it is, but I wonder if he gets it. But we'll see. He's certainly a talented player. Those are two talented teams, and that was a fun game to watch, my man.
41-40 in that one there. How about the way Rodgers looked?
Yeah, man, that was probably my other game of the weekend. Was that one?
The 4 touchdowns and the way he rolled out, the way they play called, Arthur Smith, the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, is the offensive coordinator now with the Steelers. And I love the kind of hirings that it's funny. The Steelers and the Eagles hire really pretty good assistant coaches. And they got him a coach who knows how to spread the ball around. And I got to tell you, man, that Steeler team, they had to get a kick in the end there to win it. And I thought the Jets, and I thought Justin Fields played pretty well. But how'd you make of the way that Aaron Rodgers played?
Well, there's no denying that or questioning, or there's no coincidence that you go to New York with the Jets and you look like dog shit, and then you get out of there and you go to a competent organization in the Pittsburgh Steelers and you have a good week one. I mean, that offense looked pretty good in Pittsburgh. Now, I'm not like the biggest Aaron Rodgers truther. I know there are some people. I think he's definitely way on the other side of his prime. Let's see how he holds up for the year, but there's no doubt him getting to a better organization is going to give him a much better shot at being successful this year. I think he looked really good, man. I think that offense looked really good. And the craziest part about that offense is they need another receiver desperately. After DK Metcalf, it is slim pickings over there, and I think they're going to.
I think they need a running back too.
They need a run. Yeah, they got rid of Najee. I forget who they're even using right now. So they need some weapons over there. But yeah, I think Kyle, that's a fair question. How long does Aaron go? And,
right.
That'll be the thing. But that was a great game, man. I was happy to see him look so good, and he still got that arm, man. I know it's not the same as it once was, but he could still spin that rock, can he, man? He really can.
When he gets out in space, Sander, and that guy, like, he rolls, he is so great. The way that guy is able to the way he's able to play, I mean, is just remarkable. Let me ask you this one here. What about the Packers and the Lions? What do you make of that one?
I think the loss of the Lions coordinators is going to be way bigger than we anticipated. To your credit, you called that out. You've been calling that out for a while now this offseason. I think they're going to struggle this year. I think Jared Goff looked a little lost, kind of looked like Goff before he was super consistent with Ben Johnson. Didn't really know what to make of it. I mean, there were some moments he looked really good, some moments he didn't look great. Packers are going to be good. I'm not going to go with the overreaction that John went with, that they're the team to beat. I don't think that at all. But what I do think is that they are one of the teams in the NFC now. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to come out. Doesn't mean they're going to last to the end of the year. Let's see how it unfolds. Injuries, all these different things play a part. How you look in week one is never indicative of how you are at the end of the year. But they have all the pieces. I mean, you look at – they have a pretty good O-line. Not great, but pretty good. Yes. They got Jaden Reed. They got Matthew Golden. They got Jontavian Wicks or whatever his name is. They got Tucker Kraft. They got Josh Jacobs in the back. Like, they got all the pieces on offense. Jordan Love, for as streaky as he is, when he's good, he's pretty solid. Definitely good enough to win with, that's for sure. I don't think he makes him not win unless he's off his game. And I think they're going to be a good team. And that defense gave up, 13 points to the Detroit Lions? So that's going to be a good defense. That's going to be a good matchup with the Eagles team. My main question on them remains Jordan Love and how he plays week in and week out and how he manages that part of his career. A lot of young quarterbacks are streaky. I've seen him be streaky. I mean, remember the playoff game versus the Cowboys a couple years ago? The guy looked like he could do no wrong, and then he comes back and he doesn't look so hot. So, they put up 10 points versus us in the playoffs last year. So let's see what they do, but I think it's a strong start for them, and I think Micah Parsons was a really good addition for them. I do. So they're going to be a good team. It's going to be interesting to see how they continue to pan out this year.
Before I ask you about Chiefs and Chargers, look what Prince posted here. Look at all the guys that they brought in for tryouts.
Oh, they brought back in Quez Watkins? Nah, come on, man. Don't tell me that. I don't want him. What? I see it. I see it from Dave Zangaro. Why? Well, how many receivers do we need, dude?
Especially when you had struggles getting to 1 and 2. I mean, but look at this. You worked out a backer. You worked out another edge. You worked out a guard. You worked out another corner. You worked out KJ Osborne, who's a Hurricane, so I know who he is. You worked out another OT, and you worked out 2 wideouts. Well, I mean, this is an awful lot of guys for a Monday. working.
All right, dude. Like, dude, they're trying to improve the back end of the roster. Let's pump the
Back
brakes
end?
on it.
I think they're trying to improve and find any – bro, I said this earlier. I think Howie
trying to
Roseman –
win on the margins, though, Sills. You know,
How
like
about
I think
this?
they're
I
trying to.
said this. I think Howie likes the guys he has on his defense. I don't think he likes the guys he signed in the offseason. And I think they're looking for play. When you're a great team, you don't have a ton of tryouts, do you?
What do you think of the idea of Mike Hilton being signed for the slot and kicking Cooper Shiesty to the outside?
I want Cooper inside. I want him at safety.
I'm kind of with you, but I'm trying to address this cornerback 2 issue.
I think I can address it with him. Like this weekend, you're going to be, or this weekend on Sunday, you're taking on the Chiefs, right? You don't need him outside on who's he going to cover? I need him in the middle of the field because Mahomes throws to the middle of the field, right? Now, the Rams game, maybe you put him outside because you got Devontae Adams and you got Puka Nacua on that team, right? So maybe you do push him to the outside. But in a game like the Chiefs, don't you keep him more in the middle of the field? Because Rashid Rice is not playing. They don't really have anybody.
And what's his name got hurt? Worthy.
Right. Worthy's hurt. Why would I want him on a perimeter out there when I need him in the middle of the field?
Look, they're going to do what they think is best to win games. And I think Vic Fangio has a pretty good idea. There's a reason that he hasn't put Cooper outside at all. All right. You're right. He likes him in the slot. But if Vic starts to believe that Adoree Jackson is going to become such a liability that he will ruin any sort of, progress that the defense is making, I don't think he'll put it. I think he will consider every option. Doesn't mean he'll do it, but it's going to be interesting to see because.
No, he said the roster.
I'll tell you what, man, Adoree Jackson did not look good. I mean, I've rewatched the game a couple times this weekend. I put on the condensed version on NBC on NFL app, and he didn't look very good, man. He didn't look very good. And I'll tell you this: one thing else I noticed on watching I'm watching some of the tape in the All-22 and just a replay of the game. Our pass rushers were a little closer than I expected. Now I know they didn't get home and they didn't have a great game, but there were a couple throws that Dak Prescott made where Jalen Hunt was literally 3 inches from the ball. Now, almost doesn't cut it, right? It's a game of inches in the NFL. That's how it works. You got to get there. But I'm saying if they continue to progress, I feel like they could get a little bit more from the edge. So consider with Carter coming back. Like, I think at the edge, they'll be able to persevere, especially with Zadarius Smith. But that cornerback spot was ugly, man. Like Adoree, that was bad. He was so far out of position on some of those CeeDee Lamb routes. I mean, the one route that Jalen Hunt nearly strip sacked Prescott, I think it was on the first drive. And CeeDee ran one of these kind of in, up, and out routes to the outside, almost near the goal line.
Yep.
Adoree Jackson had no chance
Spun him around.
That football. He spun him around completely.
Yep.
So I was like, look, I mean, if you're going to get a decent route runner that's going to put Adoree Jackson on skates, any quarterback, I mean, think Baker Mayfield, think Matthew Stafford.
Mahomes.
Not so much. Mahomes gets it out quick, but Mahomes sometimes will take a little bit to get the ball out. I'm looking at those quick trigger quarterbacks that, boom,
Mayfield.
they're going to pick on Adoree Jackson all day long. So I think you got to address that. Now, we'll see what they end up doing there, but I got to be honest with you, Sills. I know the defense didn't look perfect, and I know you saw the signs of the blowtorch from this summer. But I've come away now 4 days removed from the game and a couple rewatches feeling like we got a really good chance to have another really good defense. And I will explain to you why. Ready?
Okay, because,
Linebackers looked amazing. Jahad Campbell had an awesome game. Zach Bond made some awesome plays in that football.
They scored on every drive in the first half.
Okay, well, let me finish. Finish. First half of the year, it was god ugly. Here, now consider this, though. You didn't game plan to not have Jalen Carter out there. So right before your first snap, not 5 minutes, not 10 minutes, right before your first snap, your best defensive player thrown out of the game. Now you have to change up a lot of the way you're going to do things.
You do.
So Vic's game plan, whatever he was thinking coming in, throw it out. Okay? First half, very ugly. Didn't look good. Scored on all possessions. I agree. You gave up 0 points in the second half after Vic Fangio had a little bit of time to adjust. You gave up nothing after the rain delay when Vic Fangio had more time to adjust.
Or was that CD's 4 drops?
Well, CD's 4 drops certainly play into it, and you do get a little bit of luck there. But the result is the result, Sills, and I'm not going to look at what ifs. They gave up 0 points, and they had a much better second half than they did first half. So take that into consideration. Factor in the addition of Zadarius Smith. Factor in the addition of Jalen Carter. Factor in, hopefully or potentially, Howie Roseman making some move, even if it's a small degree, some move on the outside. I feel like the defense isn't in a bad spot. Now, is it as good as last year? No, it's not. We're not going to lie to ourselves. They got a long way to go to get to anywhere close to what they were a year ago. But all things considered, 0 second half points with no Jalen Carter in the first half. Adoree Jackson looking the way he did. I think the defense is in a good spot. And remember this, Sills. Where does Vic Fangio butter his bread? Linebackers. We got Jihad and Zach. With Nakobe coming back. Now, I don't know if Nakobe will even get on the field if Jihad keeps playing as well as he did. He might not even get on the field. But maybe Vic has something in mind that he sees a versatile set where you do get 3 linebackers on the field, or you move Jihad Campbell to the edge, or one of those reasons. I'm remaining optimistic on this defense, dude. I know that didn't look perfect. I know there were some signs. I know there's some cracks.
September and it's game 1.
Exactly.
I'm not indicting anything.
I'm feeling pretty good, dude. I feel all right.
I'm not here. I said this before. We only broke down game 1. I'm not indicting them on the ear yet, because you really are not going to get a sense of what your team is until you're in October.
Yeah.
You got to get out of September before you really understand who you are.
Tom Brady used to say, Sills, football starts after Thanksgiving, dude.
Yeah.
That's when the real football's played.
Yeah. So I'm not indicting anything except that there were a couple slow starts. And look, there's no doubt the team got wobbled with the Carter move. It got, do you take that into consideration? Did Vic have to go with a whole new game plan and where he was going to? Sure, he did. All of that played. But what I was encouraged with is that the linebackers didn't get knocked off their game. The secondary got kind of knocked off their game. Did you really think Quinyon Mitchell played great?
Well, I thought Quinyon turned out to have pretty good numbers, but I will say this. The other thing I noticed, blatantly on tape, there was a couple plays there where Quinyon really got beat. Like that one throw from Dak Prescott, that was the best throw of the game that Jahan Dotson throw was really nice from Jalen, but that was the best Cowboys throw of the day, was when CeeDee Lamb ran a deep post on Quinyon Mitchell, and fans might not want to hear this, but Quinyon Mitchell was burnt. And Dak Prescott put the ball right in the hands. And it would have been a 40, 50-yard game.
Yeah.
And CeeDee Lamb dropped it. So, Quinyon got beat. But look, dude, it's the NFL, man. You're going to get beat by a receiver that had 1,800 yards in a year. CeeDee's got his problems, but he's still a damn good receiver, a damn good route runner. I don't think Quinyon was perfect, but I think he was good. I think he was stable. I'm not worried about him. But he did get beat on that play. I'm just saying this. I saw some people post out the stats that he gave up, and I saw that, and I'm like, well, CD makes that catch. Those stats look a whole lot different, So just factor that in.
Absolutely here. But hey, by the way, we'll read your super chats here in a second here. How about this game here? I picked the Chargers to beat the Chiefs last week because I probably should have stuck to my guns. I said, I don't see Kansas City with any kind of talent on that football team. Boy, I'll tell you, man, Kelsey looked old. There was no skilled guys. They don't have any skilled dudes, man. Except the quarterback, right? Their old line looks like it's a little bit better than it was a year ago. But, bro, that offense, how are you moving the sticks? I thought the Chargers pounded them. Up front, their lines everywhere. I picked them to win the West, the Chargers. I think that thing was solidified. Justin Herbert was sensational in that ball game.
Justin Herbert looked really good. Man. Chiefs are definitely on the downswing. You and John are right about that. That team did not look the same. They look like they're devoid of weapons. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes on really a pretty team-friendly deal. The guy's making $45 million. He's like the 15th highest paid quarterback.
And you let Hopkins walk out the building.
You let everybody walk. I mean, dude, they're not throwing to anybody. Rasheed Rice and Hollywood Brown are not who I would put with a generational quarterback. I'm sorry, but it's not.
No.
You know, I don't think they're doing him a favor at all. I'm starting to wonder if Andy Reid is getting to that era.
Guys,
remember how he looked late in Philly? You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, where you're making McNabb throw to James Thrash and people like this. You know, you got to wonder if Reid is kind of getting to that phase in Kansas City where he's not building the team the right way, you know, as a GM and as a personnel guy. Now, I know they have, what's his name over there, who does a pretty good job as well. I'm blanking on the GM's name over there. What's his name?
Brett Veach.
Yeah, Brett Veach. I'm just saying, I see some comps there where they're trying to make Mahomes do everything. And it's like, dude, you got to get him some players. Like, it's the National Football League. You know, Xavier Worthy.
When you drafted Xavier Worthy, he was a project.
I don't even think Xavier Worthy. I mean, just hear me out, though. Like, look at who the other guys are throwing. You see how good Zay Flowers looked last night? He looked really good.
143 last night.
And that kid's got some speed, man. I knew he was good, but he looked really good last night. Joe Burrow's throwing to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Jalen Hurts is throwing to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson, who's arrived a little bit. I mean, you got to get –
Holmes is throwing to James Thrash.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. You got to get your quarterback some weapons, you know, and it almost feels like – I mean, you talk about players leaving the Eagles. It almost feels like there's a purge happening in Kansas City. I mean, they got rid of the defensive guys. They got rid of the offensive guys. They've gotten rid of everybody except Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. That's it. Like, I don't know what they're doing there. So we'll see what they end up doing. But I think they've come way back. And I got news. I think we beat the brakes off them next week at Arrowhead in a 425 matchup on Sunday. I'm not going to put my score prediction out yet, but I don't think that team can stay in the building with us right now. Not with the way they're operating right now. I don't think.
It's September, man. You know where they are right now. And by the way, really, I get what you're saying, but if that corner over there on the right side is Bennett, he's thrown against Bennett. How many times when he was in Las Vegas? Patrick Mahomes knows who that dude is, and I'm sure he's completed a shitload of yards against that Bennett. And then you got Adoree Jackson out there and that safety position. Bro, Mahomes is going to find that the same way that now Carter being in the game is going to be a factor, obviously. But guess what? Carter's going against Creed Humphrey. He's the best center in the game of football. And that's going to be a hell of a matchup. And guess who you got? You got Chris Jones going against Tyler Steen. There's some matchups in that ball game, bro, that kind of got to give the Eagles a little bit of trouble there. I mean, Tyler Steen versus Chris Jones. Good luck to you. I want to see that one. Okay? And Patrick Mahomes versus Adoree Jackson. How you doing?
But dude, he's throwing the stiffs. He ain't throwing the CeeDee Lamb.
No, I get it. Dude,
seriously, if Xavier Worthy's out, all right, what's his name is suspended.
Dude, they beat you with Juju Smith-Schuster one year.
Dude, you got Hollywood Brown and Juju and a Kelce that looks like he should have retired.
Hey, any word on Landon Dickerson?
No, I haven't seen anything. Did anything put out yet today when I was working?
Because that is going to be a key in that game. Is if that guy's still banged up for that, they'll probably put the early one out tomorrow because they're going to wait until after tonight's game. And hey, boss, how about your boy Derrick Henry? I know he put it on the ground last night.
Dude, I'm not worried about him. I know it's not ideal. You never want him to put it on the ground, but
166 though, man, he was just knocking guys out.
How explosive did he look though? Forget the yards for a second. That dude doesn't.
People bouncing off him like it was a pinball game.
For such a physical runner, like you would think that, like most running backs do at that age, you start to slow down a little bit. He is just a freight train, dude. He really is a freight train. He's another dude that's fun to watch, man. He's a good football player.
So incredible, man. I mean, let's get these supers, bro.
Yeah, let's do it. Appreciate everybody for being here.
Thank you guys very much. Please hit the like button.
Dirty D, what up, Dirty D? He says, week 2 last year, we lost to Atlanta. Kirk Cousins led a game-winning drive with 1 minute and no timeouts last year on our defense. We need time. Well, that's
Okay.
true. Yeah, we talked.
Okay.
That's also
Again,
the game that we had a chance to win. That
September's the liars month. You got to keep that in mind. Like I said, I'm not indicting anything. I'm waiting until you guys get out of September.
Yeah. So this is, I like this comment. Intern says 166, but lost the game. Who cares? And intern, I agree 100%. I'm just kind of giving the player credit. But there's one thing I do want to just mention, because I brought this up a little earlier in the segment about Jalen Hurts. And I think there are some people who literally would rather have a quarterback that throws a lot of yards than actually wins games. And there's this edit that was going around on social media of the Eagles. And I shared it up either yesterday or the day before. I don't remember when I shared it up. And it just eloquently showed why stats really don't matter that much when you're an Eagles fan, if you're a true Eagles fan. I mean, they showed the 22 when Jalen was walking up the field and everybody was walking up the field. Jalen Hurts was second in the MVP voting that year. He had an unbelievable Super Bowl performance with all these stats and all these yards. You walk out of there empty, and now most fans try and forget about 22. I know I do. Versus 24, you get 29.03, and we got a parade on Broad Street. Like, guys, stats don't fucking matter. Fuck the stats. They do for players individually, and that's where Sileo's right. We're getting paid and Hall of Fame, but I'm not a Hall of Fame fan, okay? I'm an Eagles fan. I want to win games. I don't care about 4,000 passing. I don't care about any of that crap.
Well,
keep winning games, man.
2022 looked like it was playing last Thursday night. I mean, that's what that reminded me of, with Jalen playing the way that
in the sense that he had to do everything. You're right.
I mean,
look, MB says Jalen is subpar. So many excuses. MB, that's because you would rather your quarterback throw for 300 yards and it looks pretty and lose the game than win it a way that you don't accept winning it. MB, you're not a real fan. You're not a fan of the team. Just say you're a fan of football.
You're not a fan of winning.
Well, he's not a fan of the way our quarterback plays football. He wants to see passing. He cares more about that than winning.
Yeah, you got to be a fan of winning. You got to be a fan of winning. You got to be.
Nobody's wanted to clip Jalen Hurts.
One thing, once that 166 that he had, how about the fact that he has now more touchdown runs than Jim Brown?
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I think he's second in active or in recent quarterbacks in rushing touchdowns, only to Cam Newton, I think, and Josh Allen.
Yeah,
but I think he jumped ahead of Josh, and then Josh tied him.
This number in the last 5 years, he's got 7,000 rushing yards and 70 touchdowns. I mean, that guy is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and how he went in the second round is insanity. It is utterly insanity that guy went in the second round. What a football player. And, dude, he is moving freight train.
Yeah, he is, no doubt. Catch with $20.
Hey, thank you very much, Catch.
Catch, appreciate you, dog. He says, looking forward to the best voices for Eagles coverage this year. Look at that. Go Birds. Hills. Can we get you an Eagles helmet to put by Jerome's jersey and make you cool? Thank you, Cat. Can we retire that shitty Cowboy helmet? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look cool. I don't think it improves anything.
Hey, folks, you know what he hates about it? It's in every single interview I do.
Every interview, every short, everything we post. It's going to have that Cowboy helmet.
Maybe I'll get the Lion helmet, put it up there.
Yeah, that's better. That's bad too, but it's
better. Oh yeah, but the Lions O-line, man.
Yeah, Jim says that Lions O-line took some hits this offseason.
You bet, and it showed it in that Packer game for sure. How about the way Parsons played? Got a sack.
Yeah, it looked good.
Tortured Penei Sewell.
Yeah, he did. Dude, Penei Sewell is not Lane Johnson. I'm sorry. Like, I don't give a shit what people say. I know he's good. He is not Lane Johnson. Not even close.
Hey, Mulata had a rough night.
Yeah, he did. He did. Okay. Even the tape showed that.
Yeah,
he was getting beat up a little bit.
He had a rough night, but you're right. Lane is so good, man. Lane doesn't have nights like that.
No, he hasn't had a night like that.
I don't ever remember.
I literally think I was a kid. I was 10 years. I don't even know. How long has Lane been playing now? 10 years, 11 years?
Yeah, 10 plus for sure.
Eagles All Day says up to $8.4 million in incentives. Wow.
That's for the Zadarius.
Yes, I think it's 4.5 is base.
Well, he's being brought in here to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prince says, end this segment. I think he's talking about
he's
Angelo.
talking about Angelo going off.
Yeah.
I'm not all over that like Angelo is on the Nick stuff. I just wish Nick could be a little bit more genuine. And I get he's got to send a message on the organization. But and to me, I will say this though, Xander, if he doesn't do anything publicly, don't come to me and talk to me about culture when you got a guy. And if Jalen Carter acts up again and does something stupid, don't talk to me about you being and having a culture and you running the locker room because you really aren't doing that then.
Yeah. See, I don't know. It's like, I agree with you. It's just tough for me to gauge this because it's like, dude, at what point are we asking a grown man to just like handle his business? Like, do I need Nick Sirianni to really make a culture so good that you can't do something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand.
No, I don't like telling a man how to act.
Me neither. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you how to act.
Yeah,
like, that's how I think about it,
Yeah.
But I do understand what you're saying, though, how they put such an emphasis on culture, and your culture should be breeding good things. But, to Nick's point, I don't think Nick is trying to build a culture that talks about, how grown men should act. He's trying to build a culture of winning. And I think it should be understood that every man should know how to act like a competent adult.
Agreed.
And I think that should be built in more of it, more there. But here we go. Brian Pump says, all I ask is for Jalen to not play like an a-hole. Last week for the second half, he was trending to be an a-hole. Don't be an at. Well, Pump, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because Pump, I got a video for you to watch. Go type in the QB school on YouTube and listen to that guy break down Jalen Hurts' game one versus Dallas. It was tremendous. Jalen does it a different way, and people don't like it. For example, there was a perfect breakdown on social media. This wasn't on the QB school, but somebody put it up on social media, some guy who does film. And Jalen's got a look, and he motions Saquon to the outside. And you have trips on the outside with Devontae, AJ, and Saquon. And someone said, in most cases, this would be coaching malpractice because you don't do this when you have this type of covering. Again, I don't know the whole play, but I just saw it on social. And when you see what happens, Jalen Hurts does it on purpose because he knows with only 4-man rushing and his offensive line, he's going to have one man to beat. And as long as he beats that man who's slower than him, not as athletic as him, they move the chains and they keep their offense on the field. Jalen plays smart football. Jalen doesn't play for stats. Jalen doesn't play for flash. Jalen wants to do what he has to do each play to get the first down, and then enough first downs will equal touchdowns, and enough touchdowns will equal wins. That's how he sees it, and that's how he calls the game, and I appreciate that. Pumper, I don't know what the hell you're smoking.
No, that's not what I saw here. Hey, Xander, one more time, though, man.
Coop. Dude, how about this kid, though? Is he living the dream or is he living the dream?
Jesus criminy, man. He's in – hey, you see him, too? He's got the phone. He's singing. He's in the bar.
I'll tell you what, man. I remember Cooper when he got drafted. He had some honey girlfriend that was from Iowa.
Gone.
Oh, she's long gone. Cooper out there, man. He's living it up. He is living up to stardom, man.
Dude, Philly loves this guy.
Hey, look, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Go and do what you got to do, Coop, but don't let it get in the way. All right?
Well, no, I got a receipt here.
I'm not going to judge. I don't care. Do what you got to do on a Saturday night. You want to go to the club. You want to party. You want to hang with the ladies. Do whatever you want to do. But don't let it become an issue because you start getting beat on Sundays, Philly's going to let you hear it.
Oh, Big Sills has got a receipt right here, boss.
He does.
You better not lose Sunday.
I don't trust you because I know you like Cooper DeJean. So you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I will. I will because I do like him. I do like him, man.
Here is Big Marsh. He says,
I don't see that, man.
Nick Sirianni needs someone to watch his behavior. Big Dom, what are we talking about? He's not wrong.
No, that's his doorman.
The guy you're talking about who sets the culture has the same problem that Jalen Carter does. He can't handle his emotions. Same problem. Think about it.
My head coach and my star defensive player can't handle their
emotions. Same problem for the two of them.
So I've got a giant guinea in the room watching over both of them.
A big ass paisano.
You got a big ass paisan watching over him. Okay. I got it. What's an over at Paisan? All
That's
right.
great, man. That is freaking great.
Holy cow, man.
All right, I got to run, brother. I got the.
All right, man.
I got to get some clips ready for you.
Big Z, all good, brother. We'll catch you tomorrow. Make sure you guys check out Birds 365.
All right, brother. I appreciate you.
Hey,
Thanks,
real quick,
everybody.
we got tonight.
We got
Minnesota, Chicago.
I think I got the Bears in an upset tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not sold yet on JJ.
Minnesota's going to finish last in that division.
Minnesota's got a good team, though.
They do.
And I'll tell you what.
I'll just say a word. JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, right. Right. I'll say another word. Brian Flores.
Wow.
Is he going to have Caleb? He might have Caleb Williams in hell tonight.
That's right. You better paint.
That's what I'm watching for. That's my matchup for the night.
You better paint them fingernails red tonight. All right, homie. I will see you tomorrow morning.
All right, dog. Later. Appreciate it,
man. That is Xander. Let's pay some bills here. Our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, my friends, with over $30 billion recovered, they are the #1 injury law firm in all the world, not just America. And you know why? It's because they win. Told you about the family in Pennsylvania that was only going to be given $650,000 on a settlement. They ended up getting $30 million in a settlement because the insurance company came in and tried to come in and undercut them. Or the family down in Florida who was initially offered $350,000. No way. They ended up getting nearly $12 million. This will be the easiest decision you make. And again, they win because why? Because they take cases to defend Americans across this country because that's what they do. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sale sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Hit the like button, guys. Appreciate it. Senor, I think it's Kyle Shanahan. I think John Harbaugh, who, again, I thought that punt last night and his playoffs the last 2 years. Now, I don't know if that's Todd Monken, the way he's play calling, or if John Harbaugh is just allowing that. But there's got to be some changes in the direction of how they handle Lamar Jackson. I think they've got to be a little bit more hands-on with the run game. Give it to Henry more. Mike Tomlin will have a job in 10 seconds if he's fired. I know the Bucs would hire him within seconds. And Harbaugh would get hired within seconds. Shanahan, I think, is overrated. Dan Sileo, in your heart of hearts, how long do you think that I'm not suspending Jalen Carter? He missed the game already. I'll fine him $50,000, maybe $100,000, I don't know. But I'm not suspending him for spitting. I'm not. Okay? I'm not penalizing the rest of my football team by taking my best defensive football player off to make a point. No, thank you. Okay? This I'm not doing that. My head coach in college would never do that. Yeah, let me do this. So let me take him off the field. There's a chance we lose that game if he's not on the field versus Mahomes in Kansas City. Why would I do that? To make a point? Screw that. I'm not interested in making that kind of point. What, sabotaging my own team? Well, still, he did a bonehead move. Yeah, then you want me to turn around and do a bonehead thing by suspending the guy. That's not working. I'm going to fine him. I'm going to tell him, what can you do? He's a man. Hey, kid, you got to be better. Now, listen, I want my defensive tackles to be assholes. I do. I don't want them to be superstar nice guys. I want them to have an attitude. I want them to have a reputation. I want them to think that guy's mean. Now, I don't want you to be a tool like that. You know what I would tell the kid? Let me tell you something here. The next time somebody spits on you, kick him in the nuts. Punch him in the face. Don't spit on him. You want to get suspended for something? That's like robbing a 7-Eleven. I'm not going to jail for robbing 7-Eleven. I'm going to jail for robbing Fort Knox. It's a stupid thing you did. That's the point of it. Seals, what would you do if someone spit in your face? I would punch him in the chin. I'm spitting at somebody. And I would have probably tackled him. And then they would have thrown me out. And I went, yeah, well, no one spits in my face. And you know what? People would have accepted that. And there would have been no issues on suspending. Okay? You can't spit in people's faces. It's the low life bullshit. But I'm not suspending. Okay? I'm just not doing that. $100K, probably somewhere in that conversation. No. So to your question, I would not suspend him. Hey, yeah, guys, get what? We're going to take the best player off the football team for another game just so that we can make a moral point that you can't do that. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay? I'm like, you talk to your kid and you talk to your football player. You do the same thing. Hey, man, you got $40 million a year coming your way next year. You really think the organization thinks that that's a good move? You're the face of our football team. Act like. And Marcus Hayes wrote that column today about his 5 missteps that he's had so far. I disagree with Angelo in this one. Yeah, I'm not having him sit another game. Sills, what's your take on Lamar shoving a fan? Another stupid move. This is how you get lawsuits. You see, the thing that Jalen Carter did was in the middle of the field. You're spitting at another NFL player. That's not going to go anywhere. When you touch one of these loser fans outside of the building or in the stands, you open yourself up for lawsuits, people suing you civilly. You ruined my reputation. I got fired because, I lost my composure, but then Lamar shoved them back. Do you really want to go down that lane? So again, they're two different things, but it's emotions getting the best of both players. Hey, listen, that guy's lucky he didn't get his ass kicked or dragged onto the field, because I thought he was being an asshole to DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, he's a rough guy. He's lucky he didn't. I think DeAndre Hopkins thought it was another Raven that did that. Because if he would have thought that guy did it, I guarantee you, knowing people who know him, he'd have dragged his ass on the field and beat him down. There's some of those NFL guys, man. They got dark sides to them. Some dudes are cool. Some dudes are not cool. You do that shit to some people in that locker room, they'll kill you. And not think 10 seconds about it. There's some guys that are going to be all right, or be okay. But there's a lot of dudes in that locker room that think anytime you test their character or push them across the line, they're going to jump your shit, man. I mean, it's a funny place, an NFL locker room. All kinds of different dudes are in that place. All right, phenomenal. We are getting ready for Sunday's game. We'll do the Chiefs, and we'll talk a little bit about the Kansas City Chiefs. Bill Moss going into the Ring of Honor for the Kansas City Chiefs, which is pretty cool, going into their Hall of Fame. And part of their broadcast team is going to be with us tomorrow. So we're going to talk some Kansas City Chiefs football with our friend and get his take on what he sees Kansas City coming off that loss. We appreciate you. Do me a favor. Please hit the like button. 2 to 6 tomorrow. We'll see you on the flip side.